who else, and now we'll see the other one that is going to quarterfinals.
Yeah, and in that last matchup, we kind of had Fnatic being considered kind of the best team from the Americas coming in, the star-studded lineup. But for CN, that's Falcons. Falcons is that star-studded lineup, and Fnatic fell to CN's maybe second best or third best team that is here. And now Toronto Ultra, who maybe was considered second best or third best from the Americas, is taking on #1 from CN. But Toronto Ultra has proved us otherwise. They have looked incredibly good with their tempo style of play, and we'll see if they can keep that up against the Falcons, or if the Falcons will just be too powerful for them.
Yeah, it's very important that Toronto is playing maybe not the American style, they're playing the Asian style. They're playing, as you would say, a lot of tempo, a lot of win streak. They're rolling at the same moment, and they're actually communicating so much. So talking a little on the right, we have Robin on the top. He's the sage. He's the one who's contemplating, maybe taking the loss for the team, sacrificing on the bottom. Relic, the captain of the team. The heroes are in the middle. Both Replay and Michael, they have been playing amazing and trying to go for that win out comp at any moment. So keep an eye on those two. Keep an eye on the fourth, because maybe the game gives you something else and the roles can be changed also.
You know, people talk about this team and they always bring up age and they talk about how, you know, oh, the old guys, Robin's the grandpa, whatever. But I actually
the experience.
Think that
we like to say the experience, the veterans.
I was going to say, I think the experience that they have, there are not a lot of players that go on tilt too easily, and even if they do, there's players like Relic and Robin who really don't, that can help calm them down. They're good at sticking to a game plan, coming up with these good strategies and just sticking to it, having strong mental, and I think a lot of that is very beneficial in a format like this, a team format where they can play together.
Yeah, and talking about a possibility here, Kassadin 2 already for replay, so this is the game plan. 4 stars, he has a great item. Normally you want the Ginso because you want to scale out of it, but you can also go for the Archangel as a possibility. So now this could be the player that goes for that win out. We have to remember, Syndra is the reroll that is consistent. In case of Kassadin, normally people were playing it by tempo. Caso, it wasn't performing very well, but this is the start you want to have with the Kassadin, already having 2-star and with the possibility of doing a win streak.
This spot is ridiculous as well, right? Because you also get the Akali to start things off, so you're going to be able to buff up your board immediately, finding a lot of copies of the units you want. Portable Forge comes out. Is Mittens Kassadin a thing?
I haven't seen it. Mittens is not in the best moment.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Defiance to go for. No, it's Mittens, so there it is.
I hadn't seen it, but I'm like, that kind of makes sense. I mean, you just want the melee carry. Attack speed is very good for this unit.
Yeah, and then you can slam, right? You can go for the Archangels if you want, and you already have the speed by the Mittens. So interesting the possibilities here with this artifact for replay. And now on the left, we're seeing a little of the rest. Michael going for Frost. So not a vertical that we've seen so much, but with this augment is actually enabled. So it's a good possibility for him going for the Olaf and going for the vertical Frost.
And we see replay not slamming, and in fact going to look for the loss streak here. Runs into Michael. Michael's going to get that early win. Doesn't look like he necessarily was looking to full win streak, but he's playing 2 3-cost champions. He does have Swain and Hui already, so we can see where that Frost angle may have come in, but this is a composition. You know, you heard GK Esports saying, never again.
Yeah, what we saw also Weishan in the last round, he performed well with it, has good tempo, it's not a win-out comp, but if you have the spot and Michael recognizes that he has it, I think it's totally playable. Obviously, you need to be aware of contesting the rest of the comp, being able that Syndra doesn't go out of control. Talking about Syndra, here we have the Galio, the Vanguard start, that is the best way to play Syndra with that strong front line. And now, no items yet, he doesn't want to slap the static, he wants to go for a good offensive item. He could slam the bow if he wants to get some scaling in, a little of attack speed. So now Shago or Sako, that is actually the name that now he has on his back. He changed it a little while ago. We'll go for this performance. So at least one Syndra for now.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at this board, though, it's Spoils of War and not a ton of power. We see replay actually being able to now swap in the Kassadin, sees that this is a Spoils of War on the other side, slams the mitten, says, hey, I'm going to try and beat this and not let there be any pickups.
Yeah, this is a forbidden tech because normally Spoils of War, as you say, you normally want to play it in win streak, but in his position is also fine. Normally you do a small lose streak in the beginning, and then when you ramp up, normally it's with Syndra with 2 items, Syndra 2, then you go for the full win streak. But in that moment, you need to roll so much gold. He could do it at the delayed 3-1 maybe, but then he cannot lose. He needs to ramp it up because you're losing all the power of the augment that normally should go in the early stages.
And we saw KC try this against Toronto Ultra yesterday. Did not work out.
It didn't work.
Against Vitality yesterday. Did not work out at all.
Yeah, it's tough because it's not the normal way you can play the armor, but it's totally a possibility. Now, Kitu or here, Chitu as with a good comp. Portal is one of the best early game. The thing is the angle that he will try to have to play something else. So for now, he's playing flexible. He's still with 100 XP, so he's the player who will try to go for that win streak. Now facing up against his partner, so he will maintain for sure the win streak coming up into the carousel round.
Yeah, of course. And sleight of hand, great tempo early on.
Yep.
We'll see how that win streak maintains, as there are a couple strong boards. Even Michael, the Frost actually having a lot of tempo in the early game, being able to just get... Frost just so powerful in those early stages. The attack speed going down, getting those stuns is so incredibly good.
Yeah, and also it helps with the Syndra. Syndra will not scale so much. It will reduce the speed, so maybe Syndra will not have enough stacks. So maybe that's part of their game plan. It's like, okay, let's grief Syndra, because I'm reducing the amount of possibility of capping Syndra in the late game because she's not making as much tap sense to this Frost. And now some possibility of 3 cows that are interesting. Here we go with the first pick, trying to go for that bow to close out another item. Now we're seeing a little of the boards of the rest here in the back, so we can look up the angle of each of them.
Yeah, Robin going for the lost streak, playing towards Kog'Maw as of right now. We'll see if that continues, but we did hear a lot of players still respecting this composition, and if it does open up, because it was performing so poorly, there is opportunity, right? Didn't work for Malala in that last game, but he did actually contest the other Kog'Maw, and he plays better, right? So it does work out sometimes. Looking at Relic as well, not seeing too much from there. A lot of tempo from the side of Toronto Ultra once again. Yeah,
and replaying his part. He's playing still the Kassadin. He lost the first one, but he won the second 2, and now this is Kassadin also. So Soko getting the Banshee's Bell is the best item you can get as a support item for the Kassadin, because normally you always want to give him the possibility of not being allowed of crowd control. So having this item means that he can give more offensive or defensive items to the Kassadin, so it's like a 4th item for your carry.
And there's Falcon's version of the Kog'Maw. Here we go, is going to be on that line as well, as we jump over to Chitu, who we do know is going to be going for that win streak, playing around that sleight of hand. Should be able to get that done one more round, though, afterwards, and we'll see if he runs into Michael, and if Michael is able to find that win with the Frost early game.
Now with 5 Frost, this is a very strong early game. We haven't talked so much about the vertical because of the... it's very difficult to have it as something that ramps up or has tempo, but having 5 Frost this early in the game is very good for him. He will have additional damage, additional power for the compound, and Relic, who we haven't talked so much, now has the Vanguard augment. This will enable to have more power on the front line, but he still hasn't slime items, so that Syndra is not scaling so much. He had it early, so he's the one who will be contesting the Syndra. Maybe going not for Syndra 3. I heard about him very much that he likes to play it more tempo, so he actually will recognize exactly his spot and go for Syndra 2 early, because he has to take it away and then reanalyze to see if he can go for 3-star or not.
All right, Michael gets the free win streak here, running into his teammate Robin Songs on the Kog'Maw. On the other side, Chitu runs into Replay. Replay can try and contest the streak, actually gets the TG user down, slams the Hodge on Kassadin to get some early healing, and just tempo. We've said it over and over again, tempo, 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 name of the game for Toronto Ultra, and Replay will shut down that win streak and keep 2 win streaks for Toronto Ultra going into Krugs.
Yeah, it's very important what you're saying. It's totally tempo. Maybe it's not the best healing item, but works. Panda, for example, he's a 1-trick caster. I want to say it here on cast, are one of the best casters here in TFT also, and he loves to play the combat. He loves to slam this item. It's amazing. You get the healing, you get the tempo, as you say. Additional power for the early game. Of course, Kassadin is more of a scaling champion, but this will give the tempo that he actually needs. Michael maintaining the win streak, and here we go with the full lose streak, but Robin and Ice have a delayed lose streak also.
Yep, Robin is kind of contesting with here we go. We're going to see those blasters. We're going to see the Honeymancers come through for each of these. So we'll see which one of them gets the better end of it, because a lot of times these are our 7th and 8th place players are the ones that are going for the Kog'Maw and holding hands and contesting each other, not letting either side hit.
Yeah, and normally Kog'Maw, we have seen that it's not a comp that can win out having a 2-star. You have to go for 3-star, so you have to stay on level 6. You cannot go for tempo. Some people have tried it. We saw Soyu trying to do it with the Gwen 2, for example, and then trying to go tempo. It's not possible. You actually need the combat 3 as soon as possible. You need the front line also with the Nunu, and normally the Tristana has not been a good carry in this composition, even if you get a 3-star early.
All right, we'll have to see on 3-2 if there's augment selections with the level 6. which of these players, or if both of them, go for the aggressive roll down to try and hit. We've seen a lot of players contesting each other on these 2 costs. Yep. Rolling first doesn't always net you the victory, but sometimes you can completely lock your opponent out of the game.
Yeah, let's see now Michael trying to maintain a little more of the win streak, going up against Chitu. Chitu strong, analyzing también, getting a little items in there. Let's see if it's enough, going to the backline, the Galio. But I think it looks good here for Michael. His full comp is still winning, and the Everfrost is gaining so much utility for the rest of the team. This is a great spot for him. This will be great, Cass, because we will see the Frost comp that we haven't seen so far performing. How will it end? Because Michael is a player that will want to go 9. He will want to cap out the board, so we will not see a comp of tempo. We will see the final board that you want to see in a normal Frost game.
Yeah, we'll see how Michael can make that happen, right? We see he has a pair of ways, so this win streak has a lot of potential to continue. If he just hits that naturally in his shop as he's trying to push levels here, he can actually just win out all of Stage 3 as well, right? Trying to find that even more, especially if he can find the Swain upgrade alongside it. As we see Silver augments coming through, see some of these pickups, and the roll downs are going. Here we go, and Robin both chasing right now, but Robin rolling way heavier at the start, down to 24 gold already. Found Nunu 2, Kog'Maw 2, a couple extra copies of the Nunu as well. He is ahead of the curve past Here We Go. Definitely starting to get it done and finding potentially a stable spot.
Yeah, a lot of value rolling, and as you say, very deep, going to 20 gold. Now rolling again, Here We Go recognizes that this is not enough. He needs his frontline 2-star at least. He doesn't have the Rumble 2, he doesn't have the Nunu 2. Robin is stabilized perfectly, and Here We Go decides to maintain a little economy, but now this is not the best spot for him, because he will have to roll from now from behind, and you really want this power up. Remember, this is a comp that has an initial power right now when they have everything 2-star, and then it will be very delayed until he gets the 3-star.
Yeah, Robin definitely doing a good job of making it so Here We Go is not going to be able to hit. He rolled so quickly. Robin moved very, very fast, rolled about 35 gold just instantly, gets down, buys as many units as possible.
Yeah, and that fight will be important, because we need to remember, Kog'Maw is not having the best of stats, so of those 2 players, the one that doesn't go 8th, and I'm not saying they will do bad, but probably those are the 2 that will go the worst. One performance will be great. So now Robin has that possibility. He will preserve so much HP that even in the late game, if he loses, he is ensuring a 6 or a 7 place.
It's very funny to look at it like that, but it is. You're looking at these 2 players, and they're playing their own minigame.
Yeah.
They're playing basically just outplace the other, and you've done your job for your team, and you have to hope that your team can get it done the rest of the way. Basically, Robin's eyes are on Here We Go. He has to keep shutting him down and make sure that he outplaces. And right now, Robin has a hefty lead.
Yeah, and the mirror for the other part is Sako. Sako going for the Kassadin together with replay, so they will both be contesting that line. It's a mid-turn line, so they're the ones who go in the middle of the pack and try to outperform each other. If someone gets the Kassadin as soon as possible, it will be amazing. And now Shaka with the Kalista early, this could be a good win condition for him. He decides to go for the Thief's Glove here, so he will be depending a little on volatility to get good items, but for now, he's actually very, very stable. And Michael now losing the win streak, and the one with a win streak is Saka. Very, very strong with the Kassadin together with the Kalista.
Yeah, 6-win streak and also picking up Tiny Titans, so just a lot of extra HP here for the team, right? Gonna hold on a lot on the streak. Once the streak starts to break, then Saka can use that to kind of reduce the power of the board and help the other players on his teams preserve HP.
We're looking a little also of the units. Relic already with the double showing on the Syndra. Great possibilities for him. Additional damage. He will scale a lot into the late game. His mirror is ice. We can look at him in the bottom left on the corner. Also with mana generation now with the attacking health and also the Ginsu. So both going for the late game. These are the players that should be the hero, but in terms of Toronto, they have 2 heroes, I think. So they have Michael with the Frost possibilities, maybe more volatile cast. We don't know how he will perform in the late game. And Relic with the possibility of getting that Syndra 3 as a cap-out board, together with the rest of the board of directly the Falcons.
All right, and looking at Replay's board here, he's getting pretty close on his rolldowns, right? Akali, Kassadin, both 6 copies, still 30 gold at level 6. He did push a little bit harder than his opponent, Xiaoge, and was able to actually find a lot there.
Yeah, he's very good. And normally we don't talk so much about the Akali, but Akali what it has is has access to the backline. So there it is. Just as we were saying it, she goes to the backline. She cannot perform until the end. The items didn't help her, but that's a good possibility. When you have that Akali 3-star, she can access the backline and maybe obliterate maybe quickly the Syndra of the rest of the comp. So that's the win condition that you want to go with and have the possibility to preserve more HP.
Very important win for Here We Go. We saw he rolled down again, this time able to find the Kog'Maw 2, the Nunu 2, actually put together the board as we jump on board with Relic. Has a Blitzcrank 3 on the roll down, finding the Syndras. 2 Syndras on the bench. Has the 2-star on the board with double Shojin, so should be able to ramp that up. And you mentioned the Vanguard augment early on. Now with Exiles, just so many shields, so much damage reduction, so much extra health.
Yeah, I want to recognize also the camera. Let's look at the players. Toronto is constantly talking. They're constantly saying, okay, we're going for rolling the next stage. Now we're strong. And now we're seeing replay with his cap off power with this Kassadin 3. This will be so good for him because he will be strong and he will delay Sokka on the rest of the comp. So even though Sokka is very strong, he will be, obviously, it will be more difficult for him to get the Kassadin. So it's very easy for the rest of the team to hold 1-2 Kassadins and then Sokka cannot get it.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, having the mittens means that Michael is going to have to take
there
a big
you go,
hit from
or here we go.
You can never actually deal with it because the mittens just blows through that augment, absolutely invalidating it. It's kind of nice for them, though, because it means that Michael can just be as strong as possible, even if they want Replay to be a hero at any point.
Yeah, I think multiple heroes is the way to go, and then simply you go with Robin avoiding 8th, as you were talking with the Kog'Maw. Robin did his job, he stabilized, he's preserving FP, and now you have 3 players in Replay, in Michael and Relic that are good to go to the top 4. So if you're right, there's a game plan, a very positive game plan here. Sokka, we're seeing it again. He knows he will not get this Kassadin, so he decides to sell. He will go for tempo, and we have seen this cast. Kassadin tempo is not performing. He will need to get the Kalista 2 very, very early and then cap out the board with the legendaries.
And this Kalista is running with the Thieves Club, so this is not even really where you want to be.
It's volatile.
For the tempo, it's good tempo right now, but when you get the Kalista 2, you can't actually cap out by playing around the Ginsus and playing around the unit. So you would have to end up selling this one. You actually have to find 3 more copies of Kalista or a remover to actually make this work.
Sure. Now we see in Robin, he's still value rolling. I like this play for him. He knows he doesn't need to win the lobby. He needs to take out as much units as possible. So here we go. Cannot cap. So both of them are going to 0. Still 30 gold here and rolling deep for Here We Go. Both of them rolling here for 1. Nunu close to the Nunu. No one still hitting any 3-star. But they're both very, very, very close. No one hitting and we're both contested. So this is the normal. This is the.
Okay.
There it is. No items for Nunu, so that's important. Even though it's a Nunu 3, no items still for him, so he will not get the additional performance. When he gets additional item, it will be a good possibility for Here We Go to perform even better.
Yeah, and Robin is still very close, right? So even with Here We Go hitting that Nunu, it's just 2 away for Robin. Still potential of getting there. 1 away on the Kog'Maw, 1 away on Trist, but Here We Go is right there in step with Robin Songs. Whoever hits these first, I mean, it is such a massive advantage being able to win a couple extra rounds. You really need this to come through. It's actually going to come down to rolling a bit of the dice between these 2 players this time around. I think Robin rolled early, he got there first, but he didn't find the hits in time, and now we've got a Prismatic to change things around.
Okay, blinding as a possibility. Tiny Bot Deli again giving the and the carry now is very good. You always get that big golem or sentinel helping you so much. But he goes for Tiny Bot Deadly, getting additional speed. That additional speed will help Karma a lot, spreading the damage and making her more and more useful. He already has mana generation, so now speed. The casting will be so much for him. And now in the right, we'll have Michael still rolling for the Frost, trying to find that Olaf. He's not appearing, so he's now rolling. He already has 5 ways, so that will be his win of 6 now. That will be the win out possibilities. Remember, there's 18 copies, so it's relatively easy to hold some ways, but either way, if the enemy team does it, Michael still has a good chance to hit.
I think Michael is kind of okay if the enemy team starts spending a lot of their econ holding ways. I think considering the state of the game, not a lot of players have a lot of econ to spare, and wait costs 3 gold. If they want to keep trying to hold ways right now, I actually think it's a win for Ultra. And the problem is if you don't hold them and Michael hits, I mean, that's also a win for Ultra.
Yeah, totally agree. Now Chitu on the backside, still with the Karma, try to hold on a little. Front line for the other part for Michael is falling off. He has now he's using a Varus still for now and wins again. So very good for him. And Saga maintaining win streak. No, Saga.
For Robin.
Yeah.
He's hit the Kog'Maw, he's hit the Tristana, 1 away from the Nunu. We know that Here We Go has Nunu already. Here We Go on a 5 streak as well, which is very important, right? You see, actually, it turned around where Robin before was the one salvaging a lot of HP. Now Here We Go has been able to find a 20 HP advantage, but he has not found the Kog'Maw and is relying on that Tristana.
Nah, he looks very good. He has good items. He has good front lane with that 3 items on the Nunu. Nunu 3 will be obviously amazing for him, and that's the way to go. Let's see if he can hit. And now we got the mirror of him. Here we go. And now one against the other. So let's see who performs better. The better sword or offensive power by Robin, or the better strength in the front line by Here We Go.
Both of them are missing half of their prismatic augment. We'll see Robin getting that fishbones for Tristana. We'll get one more Infinity Force for this Kog'Maw, but I think the Kog'Maw 3 is generally the difference maker here, and just barely, but Robin stops the streak and deals some damage to Here We Go, and it is such a big win. As we look at G2 also barely able to snap the streak as well, no longer on that full loss.
Yeah, and now it's very important the foreshadowing, because they're actually testing, knowing when to go rolling for charms. They're actually rolling now here when they know they're going against the enemy, trying to go for an offensive charm is very important for them. So now is the stage where we will see maybe no much economy for everyone, because they want to manage and preserve HP as much as possible. Final possibilities here, Relic still with the Syndra 2, so not getting the cap that he needs, but still very healthy on HP, so he has a possibility of going for the win out. He has the Blitzcrank 3, so that would be a good frontline for him. Normally not regular seen in the Syndra comp, but he got it, so yeah, I think it's a good chance of, as we were saying, preserving HP and then ramping it up in the late game with another carry and another tank.
Yeah, because there's still potential caps from replay, pushing levels, not going for the Akali 3 as well, but potentially going towards that 7 multi-striker. He's got a lot of extra HP, and Mittens is still, you know, reasonable itemization. It's not everything you want, missing the QSS, but it's still quite strong. And we look at Salka, and there's not as much of that capping potential, even though he's tempoed to level 8 as well. It's a little bit harder because you don't have that 3-star to play around.
He has HP, so maybe he will manage HP from now on, helping his team, because as we were saying, he's not in a possibility to cap even more his board, so it will be interesting for him, maybe taking out a unit or transferring some other things to help the team and avoid going 8th, avoid that important positioning here. So Relic going off against replay. Now we have a team and scenario. They want to preserve HP as much as possible. The Kassadin going into the backline. And now when it scales, it's amazing. It's good to see. I thought the Mittens will be the replacement for the Ginsu, but no. It's additional. Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the move speed on Mittens actually looks really nice on Kassadin. Yeah. Because some of the times when he's walking to one side of the board and the carry's on the other, he ends up losing out. He actually loses those fights because he's not lifestealing, getting the shields to survive. But in this case, he actually just gets there immediately, and then he gets to go to the next place. So helps out in those kind of small niche circumstances where you lose fights.
Yeah, I love to see this also from Robin. He decides to go for the fishbone here on the Kog'Maw, so that Kog'Maw will have the chance to go into the backline. So remember, it will be totally random, both the auto attacks and the performance, the ability. And now going off against G2, and on the left, that's the composition. And here you go on the right, going up against Relic.
Yeah, see if Relic can actually take this down. Very tough. Both Kog'Maws have kind of come online, but Here We Go not being able to find the Kog'Maw 3 itself is such a massive difference, and we might see him start to hemorrhage quite a bit. Looks like he does have some game here into the side of Relic at the very least, but no, that frontline, the Blitzcrank, holding on for so long, and we get one more knockup from the Nami, but it's not quite enough. Wow, just barely any HP, and Robin ends up being the one to take the loss to G2, who was on that full loss and converted to a level 8 board.
Okay, now we're seeing again replay final phase to complete items, so everyone will get a lot stronger. Everyone who's saving, looking for that final build, will have to accomplish it now. And replay very comfortable here with the win streak, 6 win streak for him.
Hit Camille.
Yeah. I hit the Camille.
So he just hit Camille.
That's so amazing. That's so good, getting the multi-striker in once again. And one of the better units, because it's single target damage that will perform so much better together with the Kassadin and obviously the Kalista in the late game also.
Oh, we got Prismatic Orb here, so Here We Go got a bunch of money to try and push levels after the fact, and did end up finding the Kog'Maw, which is massive. That's exactly what he needed. He was able to preserve HP due to the front line being better, and now Robin only on 20 life and kind of lost the advantage of having the Kog'Maw over him.
Yeah, he got the charm, so he probably has in his rotation the enemy, so he should have Toronto Ultra. He got the Honey charm, so the Beast will be more aggressive this time, so be very careful and aware of this, and let's see if he finds out. Normally they do it when they know they have 2 in rotation. Maybe normally it's 2 in rotation and 1 of the partner, and now he goes up against Michael, so good decision from him to even strengthen himself so much. There's the Olaf, but still Olaf 1 for Michael. He has the pair. but still not maybe the win-out spot, and still far from the way.
Yeah, and the itemization quite good for the Olaf, but as you said, just 1 star, probably not enough to get through this front line. It's taking quite a while, finally gonna shoot through the Nunu. Hui might have a chance to get something done, but gonna be tough to take them both out, and just the Hui too. Moonstone Renewer, fully supportive itemization on the Hui, not able to do it. It looks like Robin may have lost again as well. No, he does pick up the win. It's Ice dropping down to 9 HP. So Ice, we haven't really seen much of this entire game, but he has fallen all the way down. He might be the one contesting for 8th place.
Yeah, 100%. Now we see the Pyro emblem here going on for Shago, gaining so much attack speed for the Kalista. This is great for him. He was only preserving HP until now, but this Kalista with great itemization easily gets 2-star. He's trying to go to level 9. He's getting as much gold as possible to do that switch. And I want to recognize that Michael now, with what he has, he doesn't have the wave 3, so he will need to go. He will not be the hero. He will not be the player who cap out. Ice now performing his contested relic, going for the Syndra.
Replay, Mittens going into the Eternal Winter from the side of Ice. It's going to help out a bit, and he found another upgrade, Wit's End, to replace the other healing. However, the stuns coming through from Nami might be enough, as we see the casting has ramped up, but he just keeps getting CC'd. Ice going to stay alive, and Replay going to take another hit.
Yeah, great for Ice here, preserving his final life. He's only 9 HP, and now Robin is the one in the danger zone, so we'll have 2 players, Ice and Robin. And remember, 8th place is very important, because whoever gets the 8th place almost enables or requests the rest of the team, at least for one, to get the 1st place and cancel it out. So it's very good to avoid it, especially for mental on the game. And now we see the split screen and Kitux. He's fine. He has the Milio in the back, the 3 preservers, but also not a win-out comp.
Yeah, good combat aug though, with the Tiny but Deadly, and a lot of other players not able to find a lot of combat from their augments might make a big difference as we see the mirror match. Robin versus Here We Go, but a beautiful Shroud coming through, hitting the entire team. Robin having a lot of power on this Kog'Maw, but is it enough to deal with the back line? He's still weaker, his front line is gone, but there we go, the Kog'Maw gonna take out everything for Here We Go. Robin gonna hold on a little bit longer. Can Ice be defeated by Michael? It's just gonna be the way, and it doesn't do it. So Ice holding on, and now Michael and Robin both on 1 life.
Oh my god, great start for Toronto Ultra, but taking the lead now with the performance for Falcons. I love the way they come back. They actually performed very well. They had a plan, and now with the final possibilities of this carousel to get itemization. So great performance with the comeback. Normally, Toronto performs well and maintains tempo, but now they couldn't do it. So actually, great teamwork from Falcons that could be the difference between turning around the game.
Yeah, and we saw it looks like Relic or Replay was able to beat Chi2. I think it was Relic with the Syndra 3 fully online now with the Radiant Ginsu's off the Radiant Relics. And because of that, that's a problem, because Relic now can't be the one to finish off Chi2 here. It's going to be someone else. Relic needs to rotate into Ice.
Yeah.
Needs to take him out.
Yeah, let's see if he got that performance. Remember, he's the one who did. Ice 0 gold, everyone spending as much as possible, and Replay still 50 gold, so probably going to cap out later into the game. Shaga in place, Michael strong, but again, yeah, now Olaf 2 trying to go for it. 7 Frost, so a lot of power in this comp, but as we know, is not the best vertical in the game right now.
Runs into Relic. It's going to be tough, and they did not want to be the ones fighting each other. Robin into Replay as well. Hopefully the teams could have weakened themselves, but I don't think they could have, considering the rotations. It might just be Robin going down. He takes out the Kassadin. Kog'Maw staying alive, trying to deal the damage, but he can't get through the Hecarim.
No,
Robin
they both are
Michael.
taking out. Robin's still alive. Let's see if it's enough. The Nunu taking the damage.
Like
no,
he's gone. Both Ice. No, Robin and Michael 7-8. Chi2 also taken out by his teammates, but this means that Relic Replay have to go 1-2 to make this happen.
Yeah, 1-2 is the only possibility here. Remember, this is a group format 4v4, and they need to cancel out the 7 and the 8 from Robin and Michael. So actually a very difficult spot. I think if someone can go 1-2, it's actually Replay and Relic. So there's still a good possibilities, but the chances are obviously now all in favor of Falcon.
Yeah, but Here We Go, Ice still both on the chopping block. Saka with the Pyros and the Kalista having to try and cap out with this board. Does not have to cap out for a first though. A second will do. runs into Relic, who has the extra Incanter with that emblem, trying to get even more power for this Syndra. Just a couple more casts and she gets it done. But the Callista, it's just the Cassiopeia. One holds on. Relic gonna get some very important damage onto Saka as Ice goes down. Replay and Relic both winning. Starting to look good for the Americas squad, even with that 7th, 8th, but it is not over yet.
Yeah, so important. We see the small celebration from Relic and also the punishment there for Saka. He's actually knew he had it so strong, and it was such an important victory. As you say, Ice now goes away. Relic and Replay need to hold hands and go 1-2. So very important to see who they're going to face off and managing not economy right now. We will see probably now the level 9 from Replay, the roll down, and then going for combat augments, charms, especially now that they're probably going against the rest of the team and the competition.
Yeah, here we go. A little bit of a roll down for Replay.
Okay, he decides to stop. Okay, he's waiting, they're talking. Okay, there it is. Let's see if he goes for something a little more offensive. Okay, mana generation, flexible items, also going for the front line. Could be for the Kalista, even for a little chunk there. He doesn't have much front line still to get, maybe for the Shen. And, okay, they knew. Okay, he's going up against Relic, but I think it's the... No, it's not the Ghost. It's,
no, it's
okay, they're going...
But double elimination potentially available here. Relic against Here We Go. Feels like this might be the end of the Kog'Maw. It's kind of made it as far as it can. Here We Go playing a phenomenal game, making it this deep, but Relic going to take him down. On the other side, looks like the Callista is going to be able to do enough against Replay. Replay needs Relic to be the hero for the team. Needs him to rotate into Saka and finish the job.
Okay, now it will be very important. Who gets the Ghost? And Relic is the one who has to take down Saka. We already seen the detail, the final generation here for Saka and Replay. Replay is not able to get the win here, so they're actually talking now, making final preserves, and Relic simply needs to get as many Kog'Maw charms that what he can, whatever is possibility here now. Probably the Dragon that we have seen so much, so good here, and going now. Okay, he knows he's not going against Shaka, so he decides to weaken his board and have another chance for Replay to even cap out his board even more. So good decision for him, getting the main tank out the Blitzcrank, and now more possibilities for the team as 2 versus 1 to go against it. So great to see this strategy by Toronto.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does make the Ghost also weaker for Xiao Ge, but I think he would have likely been able to find the win regardless into the Ghost.
Sure.
He also bought a charm, down to 0 gold there. Bought the charm to try and stop any crowd control from coming through. So now there's an opportunity. Relic is on a single life, cannot tank for Replay any longer.
Yeah, it was tough. It's interesting that they decided to go for this. Maybe Replay had an out. Maybe he has something that he can go for to improve. And now the split, the screen on the right, Shaga. This is important. He's the one who needs to survive. A 2nd place is enough for him to take the win for Falcon. There it is. Okay,
Relic.
now.
He has to be the hero for his team here. Deal as much damage as possible, but this is more than 1 life regardless. On the other side, see the Karma, we see the Blitz still carrying so much, getting so many shields. It is enough here, it looks like, for Relic to take that win, but can they still secure the 1-2? Because that's 1 more life for Xiao Ge.
Okay, there it is. Let's see itemization. Shago trying to complete something, as you were saying about the Kalista. He actually doubled down the comp. Great items for him. And now maybe going for an additional tank here. Relic and Shago thinking about the rest of the chance. Look at that. They're actually fighting in the moment in the carousel. So there it is. And now Relic with the possibility of getting additional tank damage and frontline with this Vanguard emblem. And Shago also additional strength for him. And this should be the final round according to the placement, or unless Shaga is going up against Replay and beats him. So this will be the end of the war. Remember, Shaga only needs a top 2 to get the wins for Falcon. Any other result is a win for Toronto Ultra.
He can't afford the charm just yet. There's Earthquake. He could sell a Varus, but he has the pair. Feels like he has to hope that he can beat Replay without it. We don't see the sell. No charm. coming through. Replay. Second chance to be the hero. Relic has done it time and time again. 2 wins already. Riri just has to get 1 here. Close it out for Toronto Ultra for this game 1. Find the 1-2 to save Robin and Michael from that 7-8. It's just the Kassadin. It's not enough. That's going to be the Callista doing way too much. Replay going to take a loss here. Xiaoge going to survive, and Relic, is he able to hold against the Ghost? He is.
It doesn't look good because Replay got the cap of exactly what he needed, and he got the Arcana. He got the Seraph in. He bought a lot of charm, so actually Seraph giving it a lot of damage, but it's not enough.
See a fist pump from Relic. I'm pretty sure Toronto sees that Relic should be fighting Xiaoge here.
Nice. Nice. He has a combat augment, so maybe he has the chance to go here. Xiaoge not getting any charms here, so this is very relevant. He doesn't have the gold. He knows he cannot buy something, so this could be. There it is.
Earthquake.
Okay, he bought it. He got the Earthquake at the end.
He gets
so
the Ghost.
Oh,
he gets the Ghost.
He loses the Earthquake. This is not the chance to do it. So maybe the Ghost of Relic shouldn't be enough power to do it. And now in the mirror, Relic should win against Replay.
Oh, it was so close, but Falcons have some big heroics from players like Here We Go, making this very tight. But look at the fight. Look at that Relic taking out both Replay and Xiaoge. No, the desperate plea from Replay. The desperate plea from Replay. And he survives. It makes all the difference. We didn't see it happen. That must have been the fist bump.
Oh my God.
Xiaoge. The heroics from Here We Go to make the top 4 out of a horrible situation for not. Desperate plea has been the biggest charm or hex, depending on which side you're on, for this entire tournament. And Toronto Ultra is going to start with a 1-0 over Falcons, who might be the biggest favorite in the entire tournament.
So important for him in the individual strengths. Falcon, the best in the competition right now. So many worlds, so many performance here, taking the win against for Toronto Ultra. So good for them, for the mental. And now Relic and Replay will only play it out to see who gets the best AVP, and maybe for the photo, the X photo that will have the MVP in the end of the game. So, so happy for Toronto, but I have to call it out. This has been the most close game we've seen so far, and they're both playing amazing. This is a masterclass of 4v4.
This was beautiful. Here We Go looked like the easiest 8th we've ever seen, and he managed a top 4 out of that. What a beautiful game from him. We saw G2 also in a spot having to roll down aggressively, taking a combat augment instead of some of the other prismatics that we had seen come in time and time again, like the carry Sentinel, because he knew the rest of the board wouldn't have been strong enough and he needed to hit. There we go. It's insane. It's insane to see. Ice also 9 HP, holds on for a 5th. Somehow, Toronto Ultra pulls this game out of a hat.
They're so happy now. They know they took it. They know they play well. They know they recognize the spot. And finally, in the end, getting that charm for Replay, avoiding the loss, getting the 1-2 to finish and cap it out. Important, don't play Frost. That's the advice I'm getting for this game. Michael had the perfect initial start for the Frost line. He had the perfect Omen, but he even with that gained an 8th place. So not the rest. They're now going on top. Something happening here. And good mental for them. We want to see Falcon also once again. And here it is. Relic already with the Syndra 3. He was the hero. He was the one who had to go for the win outcome. Going up against Michael here. Double elimination for Toronto Ultra against their own team. And this Kalista was the final boss for him. Xiaoge, very good with the win streak, getting early the Kassadin and then trying to cap out the board. He could easily have won this for Falcons, but in the end, Toronto wrap it up.
Beautifully done. And Robin, in the interview yesterday after their 2-0, said that they were going to 2-0 the Falcons. And they're halfway there. They've got the first win. They've just got to get one more. But Falcons are definitely not going to make this easy on them.
Okay, and now we see then the closing it out. Important, the series now goes 1-0 for Toronto Ultra. So the Falcons, we need to step it up for the game. And now we are going directly for a break, sending out cash.
Yeah, we're going to send a break here, and we'll have game 2 coming up next.
Come on, Relic!
Come on,
nice!
let's go 3. Come on, let's go 3.
Come
Come on!
Vamos! Let's fucking get it.
Ready, set, go.
You join me next to our secondary stage as our next two teams get set for action on the B stream. But let's take a quick look in the rearview mirror at what just went down. T1 versus Zero Tenacity is done and dusted. Here are some key points. In game one, Travis Squat's high-risk augment choice led to an 8th place finish after his losing streak was disrupted. Moving on into game two, T1's Dooney Zuni and SCSC finished 7th and 8th, needing top 2 finishes. And Zuzo from Zero Tenacity won with a powerful Karma board with 9 Witchcraft. Cogmore Reroll achieved a top 3 placement for the very first time, with players now more cautious about committing to it. And Syndra usage declined in the first 2 games as players start to explore new strategies and adapt to the patch. T1's strong mid-game performance gave them the lead in the last game as they managed to place 3 Zero Tenacity players into the bottom half. So what I'm trying to tell you is T1 progressed into the playoffs.
All right, we're back to the caster desk. Thanks to Ian for that update. T1 finding themselves qualified already, taking down Tenacity, Zero Tenacity there. Massive Zero Tenacity gonna have to deal with Weibo Gaming. The two teams that were able to best Fnatic are now gonna have to face off against each other.
Yeah, in the next group bracket, what the Wolf, they're the first one to qualify just early today, winning it out against Branching Out, and they already qualified against to this quarterfinal for the playoff that we'll have according to this, and Branching Out going off against the Brazilian team, the GK Esport representative of Americas.
All right, in game one, Toronto Ultra taking down Falcons. 1 game away.
With a desperate plea.
With a desperate plea. And now 1 game away from qualifying to the playoffs themselves. Falcons are going to have to hold off this very aggressive America's squad that has been making quick work of everyone in their path, but the Falcons continuing to put up major fights. We're looking to see if they can hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, let's see what they propose here. And I really like the way the game was played on game one. They actually recognized the spot perfectly. 2 people playing Syndra, 2 people playing Kog'Maw, fighting it out for the last place, and 2 people playing Flexible. Michael going for the Frost, didn't work, but he punished the rest of the lobby for tempo in the early game, and that actually could have made the difference also in the HP balance.
Now we see our start Prismatic finale. So we'll have to keep our eyes trained for those Prismatics on.
Are you a Prismatic person, Cass?
I like them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have fun.
Okay.
But like, I don't compete in this game, you know? I cast, so I like the crazy fun thing. Because it's
Do
more
you like
fun
the
to look at.
Syndra early for Relic also?
No.
No?
No. Well, for Relic, I
Orbs,
will show
Orb
my
Syndra,
America's
that's
bias.
funny also. That's cool.
And Relic played Syndra phenomenally in the previous game. We'll get to see it once more. Relic gonna commit to this right out the gates. I think Orb Syndra is kind of, it's telling you something. It's telling you, hey, it's time to complete the 2-0 over Falcons. I think that's what it's telling Relic right now.
Yeah, I like the spirit about Falcon. They are very composed, and they started talking a little more. Normally, when the start of the game, the previous game, they were not talking, but now even with the loss, their communication at least improved a little. I don't know if it improved. It augmented. It's more a little now. And Toronto, I really want to highlight that they're always talking. It's a calm. It's not like they're aggressively going up on each other, but they are making sure they have all the information they need on every stage.
Yeah, Xiaoge going to be able to pick up a Kassadin 3 multi-striker early game. Played the multi-strikers very well in the previous game. Using it to tempo into Kalista. We actually thought he was going to crash and burn a little quicker than he did, but able to find a replacement Kalista, get it upgraded, get the Pyro emblem, made a lot of very strong plays to give his team a shot, narrowly missing out on that second place. A desperate plea, the only thing that stood in his way.
Yeah, remember, we just saw the placement there, so Wolf and Zero Tenacity already with the ramp up for the next stage. And now we're seeing the augment selection. The Spyfor, Pilfer that he got in the end. Pilfer.
Yeah.
So additional economy. Remember, this is an augment that whichever unit you kill first, in the next round you will get that unit. So you get additional gold ramping up every second. So very, very important, not only for you, but to hold a unit for the rest of the lobby also.
All right, Robin, going to get Pilfer of his own. Relic, having that Syndra goes, you have my bow, which I think is a very solid pickup alongside the Syndra. You get a bow, but also the additional attack speed. Get that stacking right away.
Yeah, and so important that now Syndra BIS, the best items you can get her are 3 attack speed item or 3 mana generation items that the beast, no one is itemizing now pure HP into her. Now we see Robin with Dragon early. We haven't seen him much, so there it is, the big old guy. I really would like to see him in League of Legends also.
Nomsy? Yeah.
Yeah, the Nomsy. Very preferred. There's a school of Nomsy, the Church of Nomsy, someone says. And Dragon is a scenery that I really wanted to perform cast. Normally 2 Dragons maybe in early game to get the wound healing, but in the late game no one's played so far in this set 3 Dragons. But since this is the start of the set, the Magic Mechanic, I think there will be a huge evolution of the meta. I think it's a beautiful set. And we will have some crazy things to talk about also in the future.
Have you heard about the legendary multicaster Pyro Smolder? Where you need both emblems to make it work.
The bipolar Smolder? I got it with the Pyro. I didn't have him with the multi-striker. That seems nice.
All right, but we are going to see, hey, we've seen this before, but we saw it from replay. We got Mittens Ginsu this time on a Warwick, potentially a multi-striker's angle as well from this side. So
Yeah,
you see that
there
getting
it
kind of
is.
slammed down. So maybe G2 will say, hey, my spot is better. Xiaoge, I'm going to need you to step away from this line.
Yeah, Jax is normally not a carry, but makes more sense for him to make the hold. He can get a remover later and hold him for the multi-striker. And now this way he can make Tangle. So that's actually the most important for him. Going up against, here we go, Ice against Replay in the early game. Let's see a little of the units. He has already an Ayla on the other hand. And a Shapeshifter now for Replay. And with the possibility, we know that when we go for this, I think that's the hero augment of Elise. So that will be very cool to see in terms of Replay. We'll see confirmation now.
I think that's the Bramble. The Bramble upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why he's got that Bramble on the
Yep.
Elise as well.
Cool. And now here we go again. So it will be here we go with the Syndra and maybe against Relic, who is the one who had it. So these are the 2 players that would go with this tier S comp. Now going with the Solarium very, very early into the game. A lot of shields. And normally when you have the Solarium, you want the Vanguard. So the additional healing of the additional shield will give you a lot of durability. So you get that ramp up with the scenery. So very good position for him. And already telling the rest of the lobby he's playing Syndra Vanguard and he's not peeling away.
And he's letting the Syndra get pilfered here to continue to try and deny it from Relic. Getting
Wow,
picked up
that's
by
so
Xiaoge.
good.
We just saw that being put in the front, noticing that Xiaoge was in the pool. So it's at least 2 gold,
Wow.
and at best, you're denying Syndras from the pool.
Such a good play to see. And now taking advantage of everything you can. As we said, this is one of the teams, two of the teams that have most screams in the whole placement here. They have screamed by themselves. They are screaming the 4v4 since maybe 3 weeks ago when they're both in boot camps. Toronto Ultra made boot camps in Madrid. And of course, the players representative for China have been together for a long time now, getting together. Maybe they were not friends in the past, but they play together so much that they know each other. So, and I really would like to know the internal story that they have, if they have friendship, what's happening in their head. I know the story for Toronto, but I think when we saw the energy, the way they were talking, the pacing, I think there's at least a very good relationship within the Falcons.
Yeah, they seem locked in and they seem like they're playing together. That last game was so incredibly close. I don't think anybody on that team can be upset with the way they played. I think they played a phenomenal game. At the end of the day, Relic was able to cap out even higher just by having that Syndra online from very early on. And we'll see a couple of win streakers in this lobby. 2 more rounds to go. Replay and G2 are the ones, and you can see why with that Jax, those items being so insane. And on the other side, playing around this Bramble augment, which gives a lot of early power, and it's on this double shapeshifter setup, which has been so good at being a crux of players' early games.
Yeah, the early game is so amazing. Maybe the fallout in the late game for the shapeshifter, for sure. 6 shapeshifter is better than 8, for example, and there will be now the possibilities. Robinson with the, again, with the Kog'Maw, already with the Kog'Maw, already with the Tristana, and on the left, we see who will be his competition. Is Ice already slamming now the Infinity, and that will be the IE, and that will be the contested. So very clean. Normally in the rest of the game, we see maybe 4 people playing Syndra, and then someone pivoting out into the Karma, but now we're seeing actually something more organized. When someone has the pot, they respect that spot, and one person from the other team contests, and it's very organized. I think this is the future of the 4v4, and this is the way we will see gameplay from now on.
All right, well, Relic and Robin are the 2 full loss streakers here. It doesn't feel like anyone from Falcons can go for the, full sell board and try and stop them. They're all kind of playing a more tempo-oriented style, and I don't think it makes sense to sell any boards. Gets the Nunu, because if he does run into Robin, he wants Robin to be able to pilfer this Nunu.
Nice.
Very good play. At the worst, if they break each other's streaks, they at least give a Nunu over. Doesn't happen this time around, but we do see that Relic gets to keep the loss streak, and so will Robin.
Okay, so this is perfect for Toronto. Remember, lose streak is okay. In terms, you maintain it and you get so much economy. I was talking to Relic yesterday, and he told me normally that's the winner spot, to go for the lose streak in the early game and then have the chance to do a big rollout for Syndra, stabilize, and then take away the units as much as possible with the value rolling. So Robin going for the Kog'Maw. He will probably do a roll down here on 3-2. And finally, itemization here. No Nunu for him, as you were saying, trying to get him for the pilfer in the previous round. Didn't accomplish that, so now maybe trying to go for the 3 items into the Kog'Maw. That's the main carry. Remember, Tristan is not amazing. And he will go already with the Ginsus on the Syndra. He will generate so many stacks here. That's amazing for him. And the and there it is.
Wow.
In the orb.
You see the
he
pop-up
celebrated there with the
camera.
fist. Syndra 2 coming in for him with the orb. So amazing. The Kassadin, we haven't seen her performing so well. Syndra is the star. And Kassadin maybe only a transition if you want to get encounter in the early.
Oh, and then another in the shop. He's at 5 copies already. It's
He's
massive.
laughing.
He's laughing.
He's laughing. He
Here
knows.
we go. Kind of an all-star in the last game. Yes, it was just the top 4, but with the Kog'Maw spot, he had the fact that he top 4'd from there was insane.
Wow.
Once again, having a spot to be a hero for his team, this time on the Syndra. This time not just playing for the highest placement. He can imaginally scrounge up from a terrible spot. This time having the premier spot to try and win for his team.
This is interesting also for Shago. He has the Syndra. Obviously, he will not be the one going for the reroll Syndra, but he can use it in the early game, maybe to avoid really forgetting it and maybe transition this Syndra into a Karma. We didn't saw Karma in the previous game, and we know that's the TRS comp for Epic for 4 cost. So that will probably be the transition for Shago.
Yeah, we'll see if Replay can hold on to this streak now. Slams a Sunfire Cape even, just slamming every single thing he can, right? Guard Breaker slam, Sunfire Cape slam. Flexible to what compositions he can play and just the strongest board possible, keeping the win streak, keeping the pressure on the opposing team. Relic and Robin both on the full losses. They're both re-rolling for 2 costs. We have to see this roll down from these 2 players. They're going to do it that simultaneous roll down, taking out the different units that each other doesn't need.
Okay, there, next item, augment here, mentorship here. Great augment for Robin. getting additional power to the rest of the comp. And as you were saying, very good the way he's performing for them. Replay with the perfect win streak, and Relic in the bottom with the perfect lose streak together with Michael. So together with Robin. So perfect spot for them. A lot of generation here and the roll down, trying to go for the unit. So Relic stabilizes at least with the Syndra 2 items for her, 2 mana generation or attack speed items. So this is perfect for Relic. He's stable. He didn't break the 30 goal. He has the lose streak, and now he can start to go for the win streak with a Syndra that already has some additional stack in her mind.
Yeah, great for Relic. Have to recognize, here we go, spot of really high rolling these Syndras and rolling all the way down. Feels like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Relic should keep the option of pushing levels with Syndra 2 open to himself instead of locking into having to roll on 6.
Yeah. So naturally, if he gets one more, maybe somebody rolling. But as you said, we know who's the one who goes for the win out. So very interesting to see and how he will manage the HP in the late game. So in the right, we see replay. There's a Kassadin on the other side trying to go. That Mitten Kassadin also 2-star. So they all roll here to stabilize. And Robin, I think it will fall down. The Kog'Maw still Kog'Maw 1. So even though he rolled deep, it's only 11 gold. He didn't even got the Kog'Maw 2-star. So this is very bad news for Robin.
Yeah, tough for Robin not find that. Gets a Jinx upgrade here, so can play that instead of the Tristana. Doesn't have to roll for Trist, can just roll for Cog. There is also the option of him trying to play this from tempo.
Yep.
It's a little bit tougher with Kog'Maw. You really need that Kog'Maw 3. But we could see Robin try and play at least to level 7 and then roll for the Jinx as well. Not a lot of gold in this spot to do so, though, and not a ton of HP to work with.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Jinx in this comp because you don't get there. But normally that's the win out of the Kog'Maw comp. You need to hit early the Kog'Maw, hit early the Nunu and the front with the Rumble 3, and then go to level 7 and get the Jinx 3. That's the normal way to cap up the board, but obviously they don't let you get there, and the comp still maintains only with the Kog'Maw as the carry.
And Ice is going to go ahead and contest. Right? He's going to go into the Kog'Maw composition. We see the slams onto the Jinx instead. We'll see if he ends up just pushing to 7 before rolling at all, because we already see that Robin has the 2-stars, so you're not going to deny him too aggressively. And you have an HP lead right now, so you need to try and play a little bit more tempo and then go from there, having the 50 gold. We'll have to see how Ice decides to play that spot, because he's the one whose job it is to keep Robin in 8th place. Yeah,
it will be interesting to see who managed to get that hero spot for both of the players. We have now possibilities. Here we go, obviously, for Team Falcons, and Toronto still lacking that chance. Michael, obviously, with the green streak, could be the one maintaining it, but again, he's playing tempo, so he needs to have a real scenario, a real way of looking at a win out comp. And for now, good tempo for Toronto, but better scenario to win out for the Falcons.
Ice had a spatula, so Relic is kind of forced to take it because it's Robin and Relic picking first, and Robin needs more items right now to stabilize than Relic does. Relic is in a relatively strong position, but they can't let Ice get that Tactician's Crown for free, so Relic is forced to take the spat, and it's generally not your favorite thing in the Syndra composition to see a spatula.
Yeah, he will try to look for another spatula and try to get a Tactician Crown, maybe go for additional units. Syndra is a board that you always can get something else in, either vertical Incantors or going even for more Vanguards is always amazing. Shago now showing the 5 Eldritch, so that Malphite will go into the game, getting good trial control, especially to the left of the field. And now we're going again with Sokka, going up against replay.
Yep, we're going to see that replay. Looks like this is Michael's board here on the win streak.
Yep. Michael Riri.
Hold on. He does have the unified resistance. He's got a lot of tanky stats. It looks like Michael's going to hold on to this streak, which is very good for the side of Toronto Ultra. Michael going to be that high-tempo player for this team.
Okay, it's good. So he maintains his 5 win streak, no one with a lose streak, so they are preserving HP. Is simply trying to manage here as the best as possible. So Michael, if he maintains one more cast, is very important. Getting 7 win streak coming up into the neutrals is so much economy for him. He can play tempo and go very fast to levels 8, even in 4-1 before the rest rolls. And with that additional gold that he has managed to generate, he can do anything. He can grief the rest of the players. He can maintain units to avoid a ramp up from the enemy. So this is a great position for him. And it will be even better, as we say, if he maintains the win streak.
Look at this. Level 6, G2 rolled down, forecasted and found 4 Kog'Maws, just holding them on the bench, denying Robin
He has more cold math than Robin.
He does, yeah. And Ice on the other side, right, only having the one Cog Maul, but going to try and play around the Jinx. Itemized it already. Just going to push levels. Not going to reroll the Cog, but just going to hold on to those units and play them in the early stages. Try and just utilize them to stabilize the board a bit, recognizing that his spot is not to win. His spot is just to continue to grief Robin. While G2 on the other side is grieving Robin, but also has a chance to try and go for the reroll multi-strikers. Only 3 castings, though.
Is it enough for Michael? But no, he loses the win streak. This is huge for Falcon because now it's a more parity game. The parity is very advanced, it's balanced. So this is very, very huge. Here we go, is the one with the win streak now generating a lot of economy. And I think they are very balanced. No one is now getting the lead, and now the roll down, the early roll down in neutrals is very important. They know in 4-1 everyone's rolling, so they are value rolling now on neutrals to get additional items that they want, and then according to what they get, they will roll out again. So very good use here of the tempo and the timing for Cheetos.
Yeah, and we see here we go on the Syndra, just 2 copies away, quietly finding that unit. Haven't seen Relics set up for it either in a little bit. I know he was trying to lean towards that direction. However, Syndras are getting cut very heavily here. Just a couple more gold to roll. Here we go, gonna have to stop.
Yeah, he didn't got it. He really needed to get it here. So even though he got like 6 Syndras in the early game, the game didn't support him from there on. So a good high roll to avoid Relic to go for that win condition, but in the end, couldn't cap it, didn't have the luck there in the roll down. Now going up against also Toronto in the other part, so it's Michael going up against Here We Go.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tough for Here We Go because he stayed on 6 to roll for this and hasn't found it. He may start to lose a lot of HP, but fact is he's been on a win streak. The front line has been stable, and he's getting stacked up on the Syndra. So even though not able to hit and stuck on 6, he's able to salvage a lot of HP. Win streak goes down here. Michael stops it. Very important to continue to stop the flow of economy for Here We Go. But we'll see if it can get turned around, because now we've made it to that prismatic finale that we knew was coming up here. What's the pickup? Witchcraft emblem for replay.
Okay, this with tempo play, probably going for the Karma Fiora as a possibility here for him, getting that.
Fiora.
Okay, there it is. Fiora 2 is very important for him because that's the items that he have, and the Witchcraft will allow him to spread as much damage as possible. And there's the Morgana, so huge for him. Morgana is the best Witchcraft in the game because it spreads the maldition to all the team. So huge hits here for replay.
Massive pickup to go alongside this. Fully rewarded on that prismatic choice. Being able to get the extra Witchcrafts in. This does open up some potential to cap out the board heavily. We see the vertical being played by replay. 5 right now. He has the 6th in the emblem. Can use the Gwen as an item holder for it.
Yeah, there he goes. And now going up against Cheetu. Cheetu still with the casting. He's lacking 2 still, but holding that comma. Now with 5 copies in the board, so Robin will not be able to hit that easily. And now River Base so strong. Now, so amazing, as you're saying, the Gwen holding up, and now going up only against that Nasus that is actually wrapping up. Looks
like
down.
Cassidy's going to be able to deal with this. G2 able to stay on the win streak, stop replay, but replay has some high cap coming from this board if he can find all the upgrades. Still on Fiora 1, Gwen 1, just everything is 1 star.
Okay, now Relic is still with the Syndra. He decides it's not possible to go for the reroll, so now he's tranquil. He's simply going for a little more tempo. There's the Syndra once again. He will obviously hold it there in the store. And now with the level 8, he simply gets a Nora. So Nora, amazing units, giving additional damage to the Syndra and additional durability. So this will be more important for her. A 4th item, if you will, to ramp up a little more the damage now in the late game.
And big thing here, he's got the Spear of Piranha, which is insanely good for the Syndra. Best Radiant item in the game. And even though it's only Syndra 2, it's a lot of power. Going up against replay, right? It's going up against his teammate. One of them is going to have to take another big hit, and they've been trying to hold on to this HP, but Falcons are coming out on top right now when it comes to the HP game. They have a ton more health than the side of Toronto Ultra.
Okay, once again there. So we said it, even though it's not Syndra 3, Syndra 2 is so strong that he's actually very performing here. And there's another Morgana that could give a little more into the depth of that Witchcraft. So maybe a target to grief there as a possibility. And now Robin going up with the rest of the comp. Robin, we see in the front, he has the Jinx, he has the Kog'Maw, but still not stabilizing enough. He's in the worst position of the team, so he only needs to avoid 8th, and I think his job is done. I think it will be very difficult for him to accomplish that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Ice is the one that they have to target, try and send to 8th on that 7-loss streak. Only 2 gold, level 8.
And he already has the Smolder. So you were talking about the bipolar Smolder with the Pyro and the Multi-Striker. He only has 1 Emblem right now, but he also has 2 other items. So Ice, even though it's only Smolder 1, with this great item, it's very, very hard to take him out. Also because he has more HP, but he's obviously in the contest with going 8th together with Robinson. So they're laughing. Good spirit there for Falcons. They're actually performing here. Roll down on the right for Robinson. He's not hitting once again. And here we go now with the Syndra 3. That's why he's so happy. And now going up against Robin. And 21, not enough to take him out, but it will certainly leave him only in 1 HP or 1 life left into the later rounds.
Yeah, Robin got completely shut out this game. All of those Kog'Maws being held early, the griefing done incredibly well by Falcons, trapping Robin into this line, not letting him get anything done. Down to 1 life, he's going to go down for sure in one of the upcoming fights. Even Toronto Ultra probably should not try and protect Robin. They need to keep their HP as high as possible, and they need to play for the other 3 players. They're all currently winning, right? Replay, Relic, and Micah all found wins there. Just got to let Robin go at this point. He's been held hostage by all of the CN players on Falcons. Yeah, it's a Nunu 3 now. It's not really going to do too much. And as you can see, Robin, in the time that he's going down, griefing the Cassidans. Because, yes, this is more gold. He could try and have hit the Nunu earlier, tried to find the Kog'Maw. Robin recognized that, you know what? I'm done. They got me.
Yeah.
I have to hold on to these Cassidans and try and slow down the rest of Falcons.
Okay, now the possibility of going. He's going up against Relic, and Relic is, I don't know how weak he put himself. The front lane doesn't look that strong. I think he might have taken up something, but maybe not enough. No, not for sure. So Relic will take out Robin in this stage, and now this is an 8. So the win condition, the first win condition that we now see for Toronto is to get 3 players of Falcon in the bottom 5. And that would be the way to go. It's very difficult, so I think the lead for now is on Falcon's place, especially with this 8th place, and having a hero. There's not a significant hero here, and now Chitu, with the Kassadin, this will probably go to a game 3.
Yeah, the Falcons doing a great job griefing and also finding their pickups, right? Here we go, you know, we saw laughing because the Syndras definitely got high rolled a bit, but G2, this has just been slowly getting towards that Kassadin. Robin was griefing it. Falcons find a way to get Robin out of there, and now those Kassadins come back in the pool, and G2 is able to convert and find that Kassadin 3. Meanwhile, you know, you've got Xiaoge just pushing levels, playing towards Temple, playing towards this Nami, Eldritch playing towards 3-star Mordekaiser as a big carry for the composition.
Yeah, not only maintaining the base of the comp that now is playing against with a Nami. We haven't seen her as a main carry in the rest of the comp. Normally it's a support for the Karma. Karma didn't appear, Nami making the win, and as you said, the win more will be that Mordekaiser 3-star if he managed to get it. So a support Karma here, getting a little in, and good position for him. So tough pot for Toronto, and great spot for the Falcons to try to expand this series into a 3rd game.
Going up against a Replay, finds the Gwen upgrade, but still yet to find the Fiora. Has the Karma as well. Some big upgrades can come through for Replay. There is capping potential to try and win this game. Fiora 2, Morgana 2, Karma 2. It can start to get there, but for now it's not enough. And there's not a lot of health to work through, not only just on Replay himself, but on the entire team of Toronto Ultra, and so they can't really afford any losses right now.
Yeah, so much crowd control there for the Nami making the win, and now we finally see Michael with his tempo play. He started with good HP preservation, and he's going with the Calixta Flex. Board here now, the Arcana going for the Hecarim, additional physical damage for the rest of the team. So ramping up all the damage possible, and now he changes. He finds the Seraph, so now he knows he bought a lot of charms, and now giving the Arcana emblem to the Seraph, this will enable the whole team to have additional true damage.
Still just on the Kalista 1 though. And on the other side, we see a Kalista 2. This comp, but better. It is the Smolder as well, but Fire Emblem not on it because that is a Kalista 2. It's much stronger. Trying to get a lot of this damage out, but Michael's going to look to find another loss. Ice has stabilized down at 16. Might be able to hold on even longer than Replay or Relic can. And Toronto Ultra can find themselves in a 7-8 once more. And this time it does not look like the 1-2 is in the cards.
Yeah, totally in control. The Falcons here in this game showing up again. With great gameplay, even in the last round, we said it, game 1, even though it went to Toronto Ultra, the performance from the Falcons was totally amazing, and now once again with a very clear performance, being the favorite, the absolute favorites in this stage, and also with the 8th of Robin, now the position of Toronto is too difficult. Remember, if Replay goes 7th here, the only way for them to win will be Michael and Relic doing a holding hands 1 and 2. And now in this position, that scenario is very unlikely.
Replay versus Ice. We saw the upgrade, the swap to the Karma. Trying to get the Witchcraft there. Does it do enough to deal with the Kalista? Needing to shut down Ice to have any chance in this whatsoever, as the Falcons have been dominating this entire game. And this came from a start that was so good for Toronto Ultra. They had 2 loss streakers, 1 win streaker, whereas Falcons had nobody on full streaks going into the first neutrals. But they've been able to turn things around, especially with some of these big hits of the Syndra, of the Kassadin. And they might be looking to completely shut out Toronto Ultra with all 4 of those members making it into the top 4.
Yeah, I think Ice position, for me, he was at the best because he's actually using the Pyro Emblem in great place. He was performing well. He griefed Michael from the Kalista, avoiding him. We see Michael, he's still Kalista 1, and they actually perform amazing, not only to grief the 2 costs, that is the normal thing. They grief Kalista for Michael. Michael was the one with the best tempo or ramp up, and he couldn't perform. And now he will bleed out, and there's no win condition. Now the win more for Shaga. See, he's laughing once again, very, very happy. They know they have the game under control.
They just pilfered him a Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Great team play from Falcons. That is so huge. That is probably one of the reasons he's been able to find so many copies and still have all this gold. Just when he runs into teammates, they're feeding him Mordekaisers. He's ramping up, finds the Eldritch Emblem as well. Going to be able to get to 5 Eldritch pretty soon here on the level up. And Jaga going to be in such a great spot to continue out for this top 4. Michael going to have a lot of trouble getting through this Mordekaiser 3.
Yeah, and not particular comps that we've seen so much. So Ice with the Kalista, Shaga going with the Nami carry and performing this well. This is a statement for the rest of the field. Normally, no one is placing well with tempo compositions, and now getting this win with so much dominance, I think it will help so much the mental of them, and it will hurt Toronto Ultra. So actually, the 3rd game that we will for sure have right now will be very, very tough. We have seen Toronto Ultra only in a winning position. They haven't lost until now even 1 round. 2-0 in the first round, in the first series, and gaining or winning the first, and we see it in their physical performance. They're actually feeling the pain, but they're still talking. So it will be very good to see how will they adapt until the next day.
Yeah, they'll have to see how they can improve on the next one. We can hear them chatting back and forth still.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the strategy for the next game, as it looks like they will get absolutely crushed. This might be our first game where a team goes 4 players in the top 4. Absolute destruction of Toronto Ultra in this game number 2. So it looks like Relic is, going to go down to here we go. Absolutely brutal from this Falcon squad.
Yeah, there it is. So Relic goes down, Michael goes down. 4 in the top for Falcon. Total domination here. Obviously, it doesn't matter in the point because it's 1 point either way,
right.
But mentally you will feel crushed.
Yeah, it's like, crushing. I mean, you never had a chance in this game. Maybe that's for the best though, right? A close game loss can hurt you a lot. In this, Toronto Ultra, what if they just say, you know what, we got more dogged. Let's try again the next one. We know we can win. We won the first game and go from there. You can see Falcons laughing, having a good time. This is a good revival for them, right? They lost a crushing defeat where they put 2 of Toronto Ultra's members in 7th and 8th, and they couldn't hold the line against Relic and be able to stop them from getting that 1-2. And this time, they get to just dominate their opponent, and that's going to bring up the spirits of the Falcons. Both of them going into that final game are going to need to be at their very best.
Yeah, remember, this is a series that will get one of them into the playoffs. No matter the result, the loser will go to the loser bracket and a final chance to also achieve that quarterfinal possibility. So now Shaga with the setup, he's very strong. He's only playing now 5 Eldritch. And I really want to highlight this comp because we normally don't see the vertical Eldritch performing now with also a great legendary in the middle there. The Riyadh with 2-star, they're just having fun right now. We haven't seen much legendary, but I think it's because they're using so many resources in the early and mid game that no one gets to level 9. So at least having to see the performance of this is amazing. Morgana, also Morgana 2, we haven't seen her. And now it's simply a way of who's winning, who get the better AVP, and that will make a difference in the later games to see, I don't know, the MVP of the game, for example, but not much else to be played here as competitive-wise.
Well, yeah, I mean, we also, going back to the 5 costs, I mean, I think one of the big things is just we don't see them getting to level 9 because oftentimes we see them, yes, using resources in the early game, but also even when they go kind of faster to 8, they're just rolling on 8 repeatedly until they can cap their board, and it's just never happening. Like, it's getting to the point where these level 8s, they're just getting as strong as they can and either capping their board and then buying their opponent's units, and then or just trying to cap their board and not reaching it. So
yeah,
no matter what, they're
or buying charms. You also have something to do with that gold.
Yeah.
There's some of things you can do that it doesn't make sense to idle for 5-6 turns when you're already paused 4-5 in the round to simply try to go to a level 9 where a unit will not make the difference. It's more important to help the rest of the team and try to accomplish the rest. Now we're enjoying these final boards. Write it down, chat. Now you can see how or additional possibilities, and not only the Syndra as the final cap board. So they're still laughing. And I would really like to know, I think later in production, we will really want to know the translation about what the Team Falcon is using. That would be great, great material because they're enjoying themselves. They're actually so happy about this result. And I think this will give them so much strength and trust for the next game.
Yeah, I mean, it's big, right? And we just have to wait for this game to play out. They're playing for that additional... It's a big reward, the MVP of the entire tournament when they get to the end, right? So definitely wanting to find that AVP. But I think for them, they're just happy. They've got the win on this game, too. They're still alive. This was their backs against the wall, and they really showed what kind of team they are by bringing out the biggest win in the tournament so far. And I think Falcons have to just be feeling great. They're a tournament favorite. They're coming in. They lost the first game so narrowly, and they dominate in the next one. Now they just have to get one more after this, and they can move on to the playoffs.
Yeah, Falcons, the favorite of this EWC. Remember, they are very high up there in points, and Teamfight Tactics gets an additional 1,000 points for the club championship. So that will be huge for them. And they keep laughing. I love it. They're still very, very happy with the performance, and now going up against the final carousel that we will have here. Here we go, also contemplating the rest, talking. I would also like to see Toronto to see if they're talking, what are they contemplating so far. And now, well, here we go, goes away. So Ice, Shaka, and Cheetos will be the one contesting that first place, coming up into the third game.
All right, well, let's talk about the next game then here, Hubei, right? What do you think Toronto Ultra needs to do in the next game to kind of bounce back from such a poor result in this game number 2?
I mean, it's more about how do you transfer what you already practiced into the game, right? So, for example, in the series that they won the 2-0 against Once Pal, they said, okay, we played the way we've been playing on Scream, and the way the game went out, we were already in that spot 20, 30 times. So it's actually good for us. So what they need actually, as you said, a game plan from the start and the game to help them gain that game plan. In this case, we only saw tempo in the early game, but there wasn't like a particular direction. Besides Relic, that obviously he had the Syndra early, he could go for the cap out. Then when Here We Go got those like 6 Syndra, the game plan went aboard. So they tried to play tempo, they tried to go for something else. It wasn't enough, and now with the end of the game, Falcons with this win bring us to a game 3. They're still enjoying themselves, and it will be at least in the ramp-up and in the acquisition, in the transmission for the next game, they seem like the favorites. and Toronto will have to make adaptation. I think it's simply clean sleep for them and play as they should, because I don't think there's something to change. They're actually playing well. The game needs to help them.
For sure. I think this game was not close enough for you to really look at it and gain too much from the result. Robin absolutely shut out by the Falcons, being able to hold on to so many of his units, making it completely unplayable for Robin. There is not really anything he could have done, especially since its job was kind of to play the Kog'Maw in this spot and go against, I can't remember who was even on it in the early game because they pivoted out, but from there, just being shut out and the rest of the team just not able to find any purchase, right? Relic going towards Syndra, good Syndra spot early on, but here we go. Getting a couple Syndras off of orbs, being able to find them early, making it so Relic can't really go for that win out spot. Just across the board, the units they were looking for being found by the opponent faster, and it just leads to this 4 bottom 4s for Toronto.
So important for them. And now a break, final break here, and we will come back with the final game of the series, Game 3, Falcons versus Toronto Ultra.
Hi, my name is Counterfeit here for EWC. I'm going to be talking for a little bit with Robin Songs representing Toronto Ultra. Robin, welcome. Let's jump right into it, really. I'd love to hear a little bit about how Toronto Ultra as a team have been preparing for EWC.
Oh yeah, so us four, I guess it might be different from other teams, but we weren't really like close friends when we got together. So we basically boot camped in Spain and Madrid, and we spent a lot of time together, boot camped and stuff. And then I think we went from like being strangers to like really, really good friends. So I think that helps a lot with the team chemistry and stuff.
Well, so can you tell me a little bit about your teammates then? So of course, with Michael, we replay them on Attack Champion, and Relic on the team. Could you kind of give me a little insight into each of them?
Yeah, so I think a lot of teams underestimate us because they're not really known like NA players, and people usually they're from LATAM, and people usually underestimate LATAM players, but I think they're really, really strong. Michael's been to Worlds like 3 or 4 times. Probably, I'm pretty sure Michael's the best player in LAS, and then Relic is the best player in LAN. They're both like perma rank 1 in the regions, so I think they're really, really good. And then Replay obviously is a world champion, so I think we are actually a very strong team that people underestimate because we don't have names like Dish Soap or Setsuko or whatever. But yeah.
Looking to the tournament overall then, how do you think the tournament's going to go for Toronto Ultra?
Oh, I think we're going to smash it. I think we're going first.
Yeah? All right, that's very confident. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so Robin, like the Vegas LAN before, this is a chance for players to come and spend time in the space in Riyadh here together. What's that experience been like for you?
Yeah, so I've been playing TFT since set 1. So I'm one of the quote unquote OG players, and I've been competing since set 3. And to seeing it from competing in your bedroom and not being able to meet anyone at all to coming to Riyadh and gonna be playing in a whole stadium and is very, very exciting. I just see it TFT going up, playing in the bedroom to a small TFT LAN in LA into Vegas and now Riyadh and upcoming Macau. TFT is going to really, really big places, and I'm super excited. It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Well, so last of all, then, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out my mom. She's been my biggest supporter ever since I started competing. I moved out now, but I used to live at home, and she used to make me noodles, because noodles is good luck in Chinese, and then she'd make me noodles before tournaments. And yeah, and then ever since I moved out, I haven't been doing well in tournaments. So I think it's a mom diff. And I want to shout out my girlfriend. She's also been very supportive of me as well. And want to shout out to my teammates, Toronto Ultra. Let's do this.
All right, no, thank you so much. All right, so that's been Robin Songs representing Toronto Ultra. My name is Counterfeit for EWC. We'll see you guys again soon.
1-1 between the Falcons and Toronto Ultra. We have one game to go before one of them advances to the playoffs. Casanova and Hupe-san on the cast. Look at the excitement, the anticipation from these players right now as they get ready for a massive match in their careers. Yes, they still have another chance if they lose here to make it back through the lower bracket. However, getting that slot in the playoffs now as the first seed from the group, so important for each of these teams.
100%. We need to remember both of them got here with a 2-0 clean sweep in the earlier stages. The one who wins goes to the playoffs. The one who loses go to the loser bracket and has to face off once more. If they get a loss there, they're eliminated from the group. So the spirit is very important. I see Toronto and I see them good. I love the spirit that I'm looking. We already know that Falcon, even after a loss, they can perform. And now this is the test for Toronto Ultra. They have only won until now, and now is the first loss for them with Falcon. So it will be very good to see them. And I see them well. I love to see them laughing, enjoying themselves, both teams. So this is the best series I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's all smiles. I think after a loss like that, the best way is to laugh it off, right? You just, this is, as we said, the most crushing defeat in a single game in the tournament so far. 4 in the top 4, 4 in the bottom 4. But oh well.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
what?
okay,
it's 1 point, as you said.
Yeah, you
what.
see the other team on the other side, it's Falcons, they're good, they're amazing. So you have to recognize that, but we're also good. And Robin was saying it in their interview just now. We know we're good, and we know we're being underplaced by a lot of tier lists, but we can perform, we can win this.
They've already beat them once, right? You just have to beat them one more time. It's not like you got to keep beating them over and over again. It's just one more time, one more game, one more shot. Try and qualify to the playoffs here. Toronto Ultra versus Falcons. Let's jump into this Hupe. We got our options: Prismatic Prelude, Treasure Armory, Support Anvil. It feels like we might be getting a Prismatic once again.
Yeah, going into the convergence now. Everyone waiting in the middle. So this is very tough. Okay, they move at the end.
There it is.
Not trying to give information. I love this. They stayed in the middle. They didn't want to give information. In the last second, everyone going for that prelude that you just call out cast. So we will start with a Prismatic that are very volatile. So we could see anything.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get the spice right away. But the thing is, you said volatile, and yet both of the teams opted into it because the other options were also relatively volatile portals. I mean, I think the support one is even scarier, right? If the other team just 4 great support anvils and you don't get anything good for your team, you might just lose from the portal itself.
Yep.
Prismatic gives you a little bit more opportunity. You've got the rerolls to try and mitigate some of that variance, and Treasure Hoard is kind of the same, right? If you don't have gold when you go into it, someone else does, and they get the perfect setup, it's going to be really tough to play around. A lot of players do not like it, so really looking for this 2-1 Hupe. This is such a massive 2-1. This Prismatic choice, so big.
Yeah, 2 augments normally are the ones that we're looking here that are the high roll spots, and then we have a lot in the middle ground. So support golem, anyone who gets support golem will go for the win streak, and anyone who gets prismatic ticket will go for lose streak, and then try to go for that 2-cost reroll that are so important, obviously with a priority on the Syndra.
Yeah, and we saw in the previous series, Weibo using Shimmer Scale in that final game. Those 2-1 Shimmer Scales being huge. That's another thing that we got to watch out for if any of these players can grab that. Try and play for that first place.
Okay, no one still with any placement or any path. Good front line now with the Jays. Great units for the alien. There's a Nunu. Okay, so it could be a possibility. He already has the Tristana, so Shaka with a possibility of playing Coldma here. No items yet as a possibility of slamming.
Here we go.
There it is for him. Wandering Trainer. He rolls the rest. Maybe committing to this and trying to go for a win-out spot with one of the verticals that we have seen. No, he finds something else that he's doing. Maybe martial progress, probably.
We saw that at what cost from Relic in their previous series.
Yeah.
When they played that full tempo, that full court press, and were able to get it done. Martial progress has been a relatively popular Prismatic since its inception.
Okay, I think we've seen on, we'll see it later, but I'm very sure Michael got a very interesting element.
There it is.
There, at what cost? So
Jaga.
level 6 immediately for him, playing with a lot of tempo here, trying to punish the rest of the lobby.
Finds a lot of pairs, but he's level 6 now, so trying to find the upgrades for these 1 costs a little bit harder. Still good potential to do so as we look at some of these picks. Ice pumping up. Here we go, martial progress, also going to be tempo. Chitu going for that hedge fund, so we have kind of Ice and Chitu playing for for the late game, playing for first place. Xiaoga, and here we go, playing for tempo.
Relic also maybe going for the loss and then going for the win out with this prismatic ticket. And Michael has that interesting augment. I really want to highlight it. And it's an augment that will allow him to, if he gets 4 units 3-star, he gets so much additional power. It's like Fortune, but with additional, we'll see him later when he performed Ice. Already with the Syndra 2 for him, gets a Wukong early, probably the best game. He didn't have any frontline, so he should be stable until now. And obviously he cannot level up, so he will have to wait until that level 6, that natural level 6, to ramp up into the March of Progress.
So which one-cost reroll will we see from Michael? Probably Scholar, right? It has to
it's
be
the only
every
one.
time.
Yeah.
It's the only one to play.
Yeah, normally, even because you need to have it as soon as possible. So you have to reroll 1 cost, and Scholar is the best. That's the Clement Chu comp. He loves to use it.
Well, we'll have to see if Michael can hit those in time, because that cash out is insane. It's really, really strong. And the Scholar board is good enough. Even though usually you want to play it with Spellblade, the upgrades that you get from the adventure is going to be amazing, and that's going to be worthwhile. We look, both Relic and Michael going to be the ones potentially looking to loss streak through stage 2 for the side of Toronto Ultra. Here we go on the other side for Falcons, going to be on that loss streak, but he is level 5. So it's not going to be easy to hold on to that against Relic and Michael.
Already 40 gold for Chitux, going for the hedge fund, so perfect spot also for him. He doesn't have a win streak or a lose streak. Normally you want to maintain that lose streak, but he couldn't, so he won the last round. So the economy will not be perfect, but hedge fund is such an amazing augment. He already has 2 Kassadins, so the direction is there for him. Re-replay. Now with that huge golem, and he also goes for the Ginsu, so it's perfect. The golem will give him so much support, it will tank, and then the Ginsu will give the ramp up with the Soy. Perfect unit and perfect setup to try to go for the win streak.
What an insane multi-striker golem for this. I mean, that is absurd to set up with a Kassadin. You can also play around Fiora with this, though. However, with the Ginsu Slam, I'm thinking multi-strikers kind of looks like it wants to be the future. I mean, maybe you can even just rock it with the Syndra. I mean, I guess there's other options. However, just having that Zeke's plus the Knight's Vow, so insane.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a spot on multi-striker, he can tempo it out, try to go for the Kalista. Kalista Flex has also been performing. It's not very big a lot, and it has mixed results, but it could also be a possibility here for him.
Seeing the carousel pickups. No spatulas early on this time. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, and Michael, we're seeing there, he already has the Zoe, he has the Lilia, he has the Poppy, so going for that reroll. Additional, remember, 4 units need to be 3-star for him to get the cash out.
We'll see what Relic decides to roll for as well with that prismatic ticket.
Okay, there it is. So we want to get Scholared in. And normally the cap out of this board would be Ari plus Hecarim. After we already have those 3-star important in place, normally the 1 cost and the Ari if we can, and then you get the ramp up with the Arcana. So it's a great composition. Even without this prismatic, you can play it, but this is the perfect spot to do it, and even go for a win out. Normally this comp is a top 4 comp. With this augment, with the proper cash out, it could be a top 1.
And we got Xiaoga going up against Here We Go. Here We Go was the one trying to look for a loss streak on Falcons, but Xiaoga's probably not the one you want to run into, because you end up taking a lot of extra damage since he is already level 6. Re-replay up against Ice. Re-replay will be able to hold on to the win streak for now. 1 more round into neutrals as he shuts down Ice's win streak.
Yeah, there it is. Ice was there with good results. He has pumped it up, so it's not the worst. Normally, in the later stages, he will have the additional attack speed. And I really like the proposition that he has with the Syndra, stacking it up and then gaining additional resorts. Now, Xiaoga still going here, tranquil with him. 100 going up against probably re-replay. If they face off, this will be very important. I will decide the only one with a green streak coming up into rocks.
Yeah, Xiaoga is going to be an uphill battle for re-replay to actually beat it. Looks like he's going to hold on to this Galio. Consider just econing to 30 if that ends up being his matchup, and I think that might be the case, but goes up against Relic instead, so gets to hold on to the win streak. Does not run into Xiaoga. Relic wanting to lose anyway with that prismatic ticket, so re-replay and Relic both getting their wish in this fight. Very good for Toronto Ultra. On the other side, Xiaoge runs into Michael. This is beneficial. He wants to be hitting all of the Toronto Ultra members as hard as possible.
Yeah, this is good for everyone. So the game plan, as you were saying, Cass, is performing for both teams, both with a good proposition, everyone with direction, and they are playing well. So this will be defined by the little things, who are making the rolls at the perfect spot, who are getting good charms, and who makes the roll down and punish the rest of the lobby in a particular spot. So the field is very balanced right now, so they will need to perform at the highest level, even in the minimal detail, to get this round and to get the series. Remember, for everyone coming into the transmission right now, the series is close at 1-1. Whoever wins this game will pass to the quarterfinals, will pass to the playoff, and whoever loses will go to the loser bracket with a final chance to advance in the later rounds.
Here we go, already with a Syndra 2, starting to stack that up. Going for the adaptive helm, not finding bows early on. In fact, still not finding a single bow, but gets an additional tier, which can work out. There's finally a bow. Could just be a snap Ginsu's. And then look from there with the tier to find the Shojin later on. All that mana generation.
Okay, Michael, maybe he needs to roll here. Yeah, for sure. Maybe to 30 even. It's very important for him to get a little ramp up. He doesn't have a lose streak, so he doesn't need to maintain it right here. So getting deep. Holding the Warwick, this is interesting. So this is a variation of the comp. If the game gives him Warwick, he can get a lot closer to the 4/3 cost that he needs. He rolls to 30. Didn't hit much, but he needs to do it because there's a lot of units you need to hit. And if he goes to level 5, he will be very late. So now going to 30, it will be very easy to once again ramp up to 50 gold and then slow roll. So maybe in 4 rounds cast, we'll start seeing that cash out coming in for Michael.
Yeah, I do like just keeping the Warwick option open. The game was just giving him the copies, so just 3-star it. If you sell it later for your comp, that's great. You just use it for the cash out, and that's all that matters. Just got replay, gonna hold on to the win streak, still into 3-2, avoiding Xiaoge even longer. This is just huge because usually taking this at what cost means that you can prevent anyone else from win streaking alongside you because nobody is gonna beat you getting that level 6. So speedy, but replay has done so. He's avoided Xiaoge. Now he gets to push to level 6. He's only 1 level behind. It's actually possible now to contend with this at what cost.
Yeah, Shitu planning to roll even a little more here. He thought about it. No. He thinks he's okay. He got the Akali early. Akali 2. He has the Kassadin 2 also, so great spot for him. More Akali. He decides to keep rolling here. And good. Now Relic trying to ramp up there and getting that additional Jinx. So now getting... Normally people... Okay, I was just going to say that Tristana 2 is more important, more impactful right now, but normally you want to play with the Jinx. He decides he needs to be stronger right now.
Yeah, we see Relic able to find 5 Kog'Maws, 6 Nunus with the Prismatic ticket, still kind of holding on to about 30 gold. Lot better situation. We see him actually slamming all the items on Tristana for now, potentially because you're going to transition those over to the Jinx later. Also, it's Golden Remover, so you can just actually, whenever you get the Kog'Maw 3, you can just swap them over easily.
Okay, Xiaoge in the left, going up against Ice. Should be an easy win for him. Ice still holding up that Cinder 1.
Replay hit Keepers to go alongside this Golem that has Knight's Vow and Zeke's, and he found Kassadin 2 with Quicksilver alongside that Ginsu. This is the spot that multi-strikers can win out. It can go first. This is a very crazy position for replay, but he did roll a significant amount of gold. He's down to nothing.
Yeah, so he will need to temper it out until now. We saw he doesn't have Akali, so that carry will be 100% the Kassadin. And now in the right, Michael, who decides to keep rolling a little. He's still far. He has the Warwick, as you were saying. He has the Blitzcrank. He still needs 2 units
close
to be 3-star and then get that cash out. So as soon as possible, as he can get it, it has to be very important for him. He cannot delay it so much, so he will not be able to maintain 50 gold for much units. So maybe he did a good roll down there. We'll see later. And now going up against the same team, replay and Robin.
Yeah, Michael rolled deep, right? It's down to 20 gold. But he's 1 copy off of the Poppy, 2 off of Zoe. 3 1-cost units away from just having that upgraded adventure come through, get all of that extra bonus, and
2 more.
He
already had Warwick and Blitzcrank, so 2 more for him, and he's
exactly.
good.
Just exactly. It's just 3 single copies of 1 cost.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and now Robin, we're seeing it there. So starting up here, the 4 cost here. And let's see if it's something interesting. We should take a look also at the bottom side. We have the rest of the comps. So Robin already with the Shojin and the Ginsos for the Syndra. Syndra also for Here We Go 2-star, so both of them stable until now. Relic holding out that Tristana with good item. As you say, maybe the transition to the Jinx, or maybe stay with the Tristana if he hit the 3-star as a possibility. Michael with a 3-star, very close to it. Replay super, super strong. And the mirror of Replay will be Cheetos, that already has the Kassadin, but maybe the Akali is the one who will perform for him.
Yeah, and G2 was much richer, but we see G2 down to 15 gold right now. Rolled all the way down, didn't find it. Michael, one more unit, just one more Zoe. And he gets the reward, but only at 10 gold here. Scary to try and roll down any more from this point. Finding the Poppy, very helpful, but he is going to roll. He's going to send it. All right, sends it just to 10. Had the Hecarim to sell off after the fact.
And it's amazing to see that Shako and Replay still hasn't faced off. They're still 8 win streak each, and that would be so huge for them. They are the heroes of this comp, and they are the ones who want to go for that cap out.
Oh, and here it is. They finally face off. But Replay has powered up, and now this actually wants to be a fight he finds, and he's going to be the one to keep the win streak, because just look at this Kassadin, the Nashor's Tooth, another very strong pickup. You already have Omnivamp from the Knight's Vow. You've got the shields from the Keepers, so being able to just get more damage with that Nashor's Tooth, so good for that Kassadin. Replay shuts down Jaga's streak and gets to hold on to his own.
Yeah, here we go. Also, we have to mention 3 itemization with mana regeneration and speed, so that Syndra would scale so much into the late game, so he will also be a hero for there. And there it is. There's
Michael
the cash out.
Okay. 2 support items, TG, and then an Anvil.
This is a good one. This is a good one. We have the TG for the additional units. Normally in a 3-star, any front lane 3-star could be the Blitzcrank, could be the Warrior for now until we find something else, and 2 additional units to funnel out additional speed and also AP for the rest of the comp. Here it is. He gets the Martyr. So additional support also for the comp, and now Michael could start achieving a good win streak, going up now against Relic already with the comp 3.
Oh, it wasn't even just a normal TG, it was an accomplice TG. Additional support items coming through there, being able to give even more power to this board. And as you said, it is kind of like a fortune cash out. We get there with the Scholars, and we'll see what this last augment is. If it can be something like Spellblades, Michael could actually genuinely cap this out very high.
Let's see how he performs. Remember, he wants now to go deep into the Scholar, so he wants to find the Ahri, he wants to find the rest of the unit, and that Hecarim to accomplish the Bastion in the front line and try to get the Arcana in. And now it's just going up in heal and up in levels for him. Now the split screen, here we go, and Robinson's the ones with the higher chance. So Syndra in the front, once again min-maxing the possibilities here, protecting a little, and trying to go for a better spot. So Robin has the mirror. He's good, but I don't think he's in a great spot. He still doesn't have additional tank units, but he has the Syndra Tooth, and that's what really matters.
Yeah, and he's got some scaling from his initial augment, right? The Living Forge. Yeah. He's going to keep getting more and more of these artifacts to try and continue to buff up his board the longer this game goes on. So we'll see if he can continue to find some strength in that way.
Okay, so early 4-1 roll, especially from the rerollers, trying to avoid anyone who's going fast 8 to take out more units for them. So still far away from the Syndra, but getting additional units that will help him at least get more difficult for the rest of the team or the rest of the enemies to contest him.
Yeah, here we go, playing the Shapeshifter variation. Recognizing the Vanguard front line going to be a little tough to get to, as G2 using all that money finds Kassadin 3 and Akali 3. That's going to hurt Replay's chances of getting there on both of those units, but Replay having so much health to work with, still on that 10-win streak.
Yeah, very important, this 4-1. Huge role, as you just mentioned, and now going up against Michael. Michael very strong. Doesn't seem like it's enough. He doesn't have the damage, and that Kassadin is totally obliterating him. Michael in a decent spot, but Cheetos is now totally the hero, and he could easily, with this comp, ramp it up and punish a lot of the lobby and get a chunk of HP there.
He hit PTA.
Oh my god.
Ridiculous.
The best
G2
augment for this comp.
The player to watch, the player to look for the win for Falcons. Already having the 3 stars and then hitting PTA. This is definitely a way to get first place in the game. And now you have to look to the side of Toronto Ultra. Who can get first? And if no one can beat G2, you have to be able to stomp out the rest of the Falcons.
Yeah, and I think that will be the way, because there's a clear win-out comp in case of Falcon, and there's not in the case of Toronto Ultra, so they will have to ramp it up. They will have to bring 3 people from the Falcons in the bottom 5, and obviously they will not be able to avoid that press to attack with the Casa in 3. So a very, very difficult and tough spot for Toronto Ultra. Let's see how they manage.
Yeah, Relic, at least with the golden ticket, able to find this Vanguard front line, finds the Rumble, finds the Nunu, and he's got that Kog'Maw online, 3 away from the Tristana, but at least the core of the composition is put together. It's not a first place comp, but he can play for top 4 because he has hit the board. He's already level 7. He's doing all right in this game. On the other side here, you can see Michael with his 3 stars, able to start dealing some damage to the side of the Falcons, getting a little chunk onto Xiaoge.
Okay, let's do a little recap. Relic, he's strong, and he's able to maneuver a little. Ice and Hugo will probably be a little concerned, so there's a possibility there for Toronto. But it's close. It's very close, Cass. I think both of them are recognizing their weak condition, but they're both close. So it will be down to who preserves more HP, who makes the changes here, who are rolling for charms to be sure to avoid that someone escapes, for example. So Michael will be one of them. He has many resources in place, and he will try to avoid that in the middle ground. Let's see this enough. He finds the Taric as an additional tank, and now funneling all the damage with the Warwick with the support items in the back.
He's against Ice, and he needs to start hammering this home. They need to put Ice into 8th place. We saw Ice escape many times so far this series and place much higher than his position felt like it should. This time it looks like Michael's going to be able to deal some damage, though. That Syndra is cranking through the front line. It's just too many 3 stars at this point, even though they're 1 cost. All the support items giving so much tanky stats to the 3 stars, scaling off of that HP, working so great, and Ice is going to take another hit. Here we go, also falling quite low. Toronto Ultra making it happen here. Everyone except for Replay winning their round, dealing some damage to the side of the Falcons.
This is huge for Toronto because Ice has a ramp it up augment. He has the pumping up. So in stage 5, he will be so strong. So trying to avoid him to ramp up now is very important because later stages he will ramp up with the Syndra and we will ramp up with the pump it up. So actually good win for them. Still isn't out. 8 lose streak for Ice, but he's getting stronger naturally into the game.
Yeah, Ice having no money and the front line not being good for him just yet. Has just a couple rolls here. Pairs his Tahm Kench, but he'd only have 1 roll left. He has to decide, do you want this summoned Voidling? Do you need to try and stay alive longer? He is going to grab it.
Yep. Yeah, he needs anything that can give him a chance to avoid getting eliminated in this round is huge for him, trying to avoid the 8th and not giving a possibility to Toronto Ultra. They already have a hero. Now they need the stacker to avoid going 8th and giving a better chance, an easy chance for the Falcons to achieve this victory. Remember, game 3 of this round, 1-1 Toronto versus Falcons.
We saw Relic find the Tristana 3. He's getting even stronger in that Kog'Maw reroll build. Now Robin Songs having a chance to put down Ice for good in this game, in this series. Needs to send a Falcons player 8th considering Chi2's spot. And we see so far a lot of power for Robin Songs.
Oh, he's
Syndra
out.
takes down Ice. Ice will go out in 8th. Robin getting it done for his team here. They needed to trap Ice on that pumping up, on that scaling, not let him get break free of stage 4. And they do so. So even though Chi2 might have a runaway first place coming through, there is still some parity with the 8th going to the Falcons.
Yeah, 100%. So both weak condition weren't achieved now for Falcons, so it's an open game. I think they're parity, even though Ice goes down, they're not underdogs by any means. They're very, very powerful, so the rest of the game will define the rest. Karma 2, now here for Shaka, with a possibility of making the change. The Norra, very important unit. Norra 2 will be very hard to achieve, but if he gets a Norra 2 early, or at least with the gold that he has, this is one of the best legendaries when you have them itemized. Very, very strong, a strong utility for the rest of the game, and now the Karma will be the additional damage. So, good gameplay and good fast 9 composition here for Xiaoge.
Yeah, let's see if Relic, while still in his power spike, can get some damage down onto Xiaoge, because he will get outscaled with this Kog'Maw composition. He's got one item slot still remaining for the Cog though, so there's a little bit more power that he can get, and for now he can deal some damage to this Falcons lineup. That is Relic's job right now.
Huge.
He is the hammer. He has to deal as much as he can to the Falcons.
Okay, and once again here we replay taking a loss against Michael. He has a lot of HP that he preserves during the early game thanks to this golem, so actually helping the team here, good to see. And it's close, guys. It's for anyone here. The Syndra doing good here. As we remember, both of these comp, anyone who has Syndra is scaling right now. Cassiopeia also with the Ginsu as an additional damage, but it's not popping up for him. Shyvana 3, no items, so no frontline. Now he's expecting to make that change. He has all the items now in bench, and now will be the pop-off. Trying to go also for the Briar as a possibility. We have them in the bench, so that vertical of 6-8 shipper will come in and try to win more time for the Ginso to ramp up.
Yeah, right now just having the 5 in, but as you said, with the Briar, getting 6 online, very possible. One copy of each, one cost. That means you can find Elise or Jace
There it
if
is.
you want to play for all 6. And
There
there
it
it
is.
is. 6 Shapeshifter in. Now, it's just about hitting Briar 2!
Oh!
And here we go, finds
so
it!
huge!
Incredibly clutch because he's the one on the chopping block.
Yeah, and now you can put the
Briar
items
2.
on Briar. You weren't. And now
Nico
the Nico.
3.
He has choices now. He can do anything he wants with the support item. Maybe funneling in the middle. This is huge for the Falcons. Here we go, going again.
Here we go, gets to hold on once more. So many times we've seen these Falcon players back against the wall, last couple of rolls, and they find exactly what they need. Briar 2, Nico 3, and it's just too much for the Xiaoge board to deal with. Now Xiaoge is just going to be tanking with his HP to try and help the rest of the team. However, Karma actually doing a little too good in this fight. Here we go, might be taking a little bit of damage from his teammate. Very close, but yeah, Xiaoge. Uh-oh, that's not what Falcons want. I think this 6 Shapeshifter board is a little bit better for the overarching game plan here. Potential look for the win out, but that just shows the weakness of 6 Shapeshifter. It is something that a lot of people have thought the 4 Vanguard version a lot better.
Yeah.
We're seeing Shapeshifters falling a little flat into the Karma.
Yeah, normally in the late game it falls down, but you want to see what he has. He has the 3-star with the Shyvana, with the Nico, getting the early Briar. Normally it should work, but well, the Karma in the later stage was so amazing for the rest, and finally taking the loss. So here we go, only 1 HP less, and now we're going with the final comp. Relic. He's the one who can take it out.
It's not Relic's board.
Okay.
This is instead going to be Replay's board.
Nice.
Relic was just watching. He knows they have to take out. Here we go. Relic is the next on the chopping block for Toronto Ultra. He's done kind of everything he can with that Kog'Maw board, getting as strong as possible in this prismatic lobby early on. Looks like it will be one more survival for here we go. Replay going to take a little bit more damage, but he preserves so much with that streak in the early stage of the game. Relic finds a win. Somebody has to take down. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Knows he cannot lose the next round. He gets the dummy here. So additional power, additional front lane. He needs to give additional time to that Syndra to scale. He doesn't have much damage. That's what's important, no? He has so much front line, but there's lacking so much damage for him. Now, the additional damage that he needs comes with the Cassiopeia, and now with the possibility of that Nasus 2-star to even giving more time to ramp up the double Ginsos. He goes with a Ghost, so this is good news for him. He goes against Relic, but it's Relic's Ghost, so less power for him.
Yeah, Relic's Ghost, and there's so much power. Here we go, hit every upgrade, and that's going to buy him time to get the Nasus 2, make the board fully upgraded. If he can find something like a TG for the Briar off the carousel, he is in business, as Relic trying to hold on as well, going up against Chitu, who's kind of fallen off. We've seen a lot of losses for this multi-striker board. Maybe not as free of a first as we initially thought, which bodes very well for Toronto Ultra. Relic going to deal even more damage to Chichu. 3-loss streak. We thought this was going to be a runaway. It's not the case. Multi-striker's hitting a lot of the things that he needed, but not able to find further upgrades from there.
This is so huge for everyone. Such an amazing gameplay. Relic probably trying to go for the Vanguard emblem there, thinking it into the end, trying to think if there's anything else that need to be griefed, and it's more important for them now, thinking about the Karma, thinking about their Diari, so he goes for a crowd control, and trying to avoid this late game that is so important.
He didn't have a third Kog'Maw item, so now it's his third Kog'Maw item. Very, very important that he's able to pick that up. Probably didn't have a chance to grief here because he needs that. He's actually strong enough to win some rounds still, and he has some fight left in him. He has some ability to help his team even more by getting stronger, getting this onto the Kog'Maw. As we're going to see him roll down again on 7, just looking for a good potential pop with the charm, and he will get to complete an item with that glove he has open on the bench.
Okay, let's see what he decides. He can go... Okay, he decides to go for a little more front line. He was good there, so the additional, the secondary carry, the off-tank now with the Rumble, additional damage for him with the Crown, getting so much HP and also AP for him. And now once again, here we go. Win position for him in terms of unit. Let's see if it's enough. And he goes against the 3-star Kassadin.
Yeah, he's against Cheat2, and once again, we're going to see that Akali fall way too early. Looks like, here we go, will survive, but that's going to start to put Cheat2 in a very precarious situation. Yep. On a 4 loss, going to be falling even lower. This is a big loss as well, because one of his carries died immediately. So now this is going to come down to a single life, potentially, for Cheat2 as well. And Michael going to take a hit as well. It's getting very close on the HP.
Yeah, how much can you help your team? Because we saw Kitus that maybe he took outside some of the multi-striker to make sure that he wouldn't lose, but it was a total obliteration in the next round. So now it's up for everyone. Kitus, Michael, Relic, here we go. Less than 20 HP. Repay only 21. It's for everyone. Anyone can win. This is the final round. Whoever wins the series classifies to the playoff.
And Chauga finding the upgrade onto the Xerath, onto the Karma, onto the Nami, everything going his way. He's now in the position. We talked about, hey, maybe he shouldn't have held on to HP. His spot wasn't good. No, it was even better. He'd made it to 9. He hits everything. Looking for that first place. So Toronto Ultra has to hold on. They have to take out, here we go, they have to take out as many of these other players immediately. As we see Michael versus Relic, one of them will be eliminated. And Robin really needs the win versus, here we go, Nami perfectly positioned, crowd controlling both of the backliners, but now it's can they get through the Nico? It looks like Syndra can. Syndra 2 has scaled, the Living Forge has scaled, and here we go, is sent out of the game by Robin. You see a stand-up from Michael, he pops off as they take out, here we go.
The total celebration here for Toronto Ultra. Amazing for them. Getting ice. Here we go. And Kitus out.
They've locked it in. That means 3 of them in the top 4. Toronto Ultra are advancing to the playoffs, taking down the Falcons, the tournament favorite, the underdog team from the Americas. People asked, would there be an issue with language barrier, with communication? Would they not be a strong enough team because they don't have all the accolades? And they proved everyone wrong, making it out of their group as the winners in a very difficult group with the Falcons.
It's the noodles. Robin said it in the interview. The mom of Robinson getting the noodles for them, getting the lock in, and not only the lock, the preparation. These guys prepared so much on scrims. I talked to Relic. They were in Madrid for 2 weeks, making a huge advancement in the way of playing, knowing how to play 4v4 in a best way, and the communication is perfect. Michael said it yesterday, I love my team. I have so good teammates, and they have been supporting themselves so much. We have now confirmed that they will advance to the playoff. They will go, or they will be in the playoff with Wolf. They will be with the rest of the teams, and we will decide tomorrow the rest of the team that will advance. So great for Toronto Ultra, great for the Americas.
Yeah, it's huge, and Falcons can't be too disheartened yet. They still have another chance to make it through. Sure. They're going to the lower bracket, and with the performances they've been putting up, I would be shocked if this team does not find their way out of the group stage. The fact that it came down to just a few HP in this game, it came down to Toronto Ultra having to have a miracle in game 1 to go 1-2 after the 7-8. This Falcons team are a force to be reckoned with, and the fact that they've fallen once does not mean they will topple so easily.
Yeah, they're still tier S in any tier list that we have. They've playing amazing. The second game demonstrated that, playing so good. And I love to see it. We learned so much about the teamwork here, the Pyfer being used so much for the early game to try to funnel units. Even if it doesn't work, you try to look for that out, and it actually worked for the rest. Now they're just shaping it out. Very happy with their performance, and Toronto Ultra once again qualifying to the quarterfinals. This is great. This is great for Americas. And as you said, Falcon still with a chance. They will play tomorrow. They will go with the winner of the loser bracket from today from this Group D and try to achieve then the rest and the transmission, the qualifications for the playoffs.
And Relic with yet another top 4 for this team. He has been an absolute rock for everyone on Toronto Ultra. The team
Do you have him
captain,
as the MVP, maybe?
I think
he should be, right?
I think so. I think so, especially after Game 1 as well, just holding on for his team, getting that first place. I mean, we'll see based on, AVP, etc.
Sure.
But in my opinion, I think Relic, so far for Toronto Ultra in the tournament, not even just this series, has been the MVP and doing it from that captain role. It's so impressive to see him do this.
Yeah, and performing with Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw didn't have results yesterday. One of the most played comps and higher than 5.5. I think 4.5. He has like a 5.9 on yesterday on Clement's stats, and he wasn't performing, and he played it well. He just said it in the early game. He gave the game to Tristana. He gave not in the normal way. He didn't go for the Jinx, even though that's the way that he normally plays it, and recognizing his spot to actually penalize the lobby with full strength. And now they're celebrating. They're still talking about it. They're still, okay, what should we have done? What are we doing here? And obviously taking good performance. So glad and so happy for them. And also, as you said, I'm expecting Falcon to also advance in tomorrow's matchup.
Yeah, finding another good out. We saw the Vanguard Nunu was kind of the way he played around this Kog'Maw composition to increase the cap. You heard Ian say in the update from the B stream, we saw Kog'Maw finally get a top 3 placement the first time in the tournament. Well, now we've got 2 times, as Relic has done it once more here. And Robin, I think, a big bounce back in getting to be the hero in this game. Robin very frequently has been taking the Kog'Maw role. He's been going, 7th or 8th or whatever, just trying to fight against the opposition. He did it in the first 2 games in our series. But in this final game, it was his Syndra being able to take out Here We Go that made all the difference. And now fighting for that first with Xiao Ge, yeah, it's kind of a point of pride to get that first. But Robin showing that he can not only play the supportive style for his team, but he can be that carry that we know and love from North America. Where in the regionals in the past, he has that record-setting, that tone-setting regional performance, that 1-1-1 flag 1-1. We know he's good at being able to cap out boards.
Yeah, they're all good. They're amazing. And it's good to see the styles, right? Because even though in TFT you want to be overall, everyone has their own style, but they're actually sacrificing for the rest. So very good to see. I love the format. There's the fist bump. It wasn't put in the middle, but now once again. And now Toronto Ultra confirmed to qualify cast for quarterfinals. And I'm so happy.